into the microphone.
What do you want to
Speaking
say?
of live. Oh no, I was just gonna say, do you guys think that like movies are like dead?
I mean, after Borderlands, they're on life support.
After The Crow, I mean, bro. I don't even know if I like movies
Oh,
anymore.
that was a zombie movie. Literally, that movie was brought back to life by the undead.
Bro, there's a reason I chose what I did for the thing today, because literally everything out right now fucking sucks. Every movie and the past month has sucked ass.
Do you know what? That's a pretty good point, actually, if movies are dead, because I did a good job then.
Alright,
You'll
good.
see why.
Well, I did for a while. Go watch Trap.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
Beetle-
Yeah, go
ladies
watch
and
Trap.
gentlemen, Beetlejuice next month. Looks good. I'm sure it's going to be a fun time. I'm actually looking
I'd like for that to be good.
I'll be just. I remember that.
The juice is loose.
Yeah, no.
The juice is.
The moose is loose.
No!
No.
Beetlejuice! Speedo-moose!
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice in a car.
That would be funny as fuck,
damn it.
actually.
Beetlejuice is driving a car, and every time he remembers he's driving a car, he wants to keep driving the car.
He wants to kill himself.
All right. It's episode
back.
19.
Right,
Almost
early,
nice.
ladies and gentlemen. We got the
I
Wolverine
am not
mug.
joking. I almost said the baseball podcast. It's the good, the bad, and the bruv.
Yeah, that'll never
will-
come back.
I will tell you why I almost said that. Is because we pulled off the most incredible prank on Simon a few days ago. Oh my god, it was so
Oh,
funny.
we're airing this out. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
I'll brief it because we have a show to do, but like. So, anyone that knows us from about 2 years ago, we did a pod called the Baseball Podcast. It was mostly
It's a really good
wrestling, but we
podcast
did
that
do
you
other
should not
stuff.
listen to.
There were sections on it that were just us three that slowly became this, so that's cool. About 2 days ago, we told Simon, or Chair, who has an account on Twitter, that he changed to the Baseball Pod as a bit. He posted a picture of the logo and said, "We are back."
And it was like
Simon
9:15 or some shit.
is so gullible. And he retweeted it saying, "No one told me, but let's go. We're so back." And then
was like-
we thought it would be the funniest thing to pretend to plan shit with Simon in the call and completely finesse him into thinking it's actually coming back. It was the most hilarious thing in a
We
very long
lied on the
time.
internet.
Anyway, we have such a stacked show for you tonight. We have music guest Olivia Rodrigo's here.
A musical guest Olivia Rodrigo here.
And we're playing...
Arcade Fire's here.
Arcade Fire's here!
It's like SNL every time.
Simon, I have money. What can I put my money into?
You can put your money into
Acorns. We're sponsored by
Wait, let me
Acorns.
stop you
No, I'm
there.
joking.
Simon, what can I put my money into?
You can put it into a lot of things. You can put it into stocks. You can put it into reinvesting in gold, like we did back in 2016, briefly in America. You can invest in
What?
Netflix,
Flop a coin.
Panera Bread, Game Night 2018 sequel.
Guys, go to patreon.com/goodbadbruv and you can get some good stuff on there.
This is my revenge. I'm just stonewalling the entire thing. I'm just gonna no sell.
No, not Stonewall. Oh, no.
Oh, we don't talk
That's
about
not the film by Roland Emmerich. No, please.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
no,
you just spoiled what I'm bringing to the table. Stonewall 2018.
We're planning some more stuff to come. Oh, and $3 a month, and you get a 7-day free trial. And if you didn't like it, you can just cancel and don't have to pay for anything. Just have a look.
Watch the greatest moment in cinematic history when Hulk says goodbye, chat.
Yes, we do not have any new commentaries or live dubs this week, but we do
Just
have
yet.
a review.
We did take a week off, so
We do have a review for AEW All In that was posted a couple days ago. So if you
Yes.
still haven't watched that,
Yeah, go to YouTube.
if you want to know,
Daniel's
our
son.
opinions, Daniel's son is right there.
Anyway, that's a good follow up. We're on the YouTube. youtube.com/goodbadbruv.
Subscribe
Also
to
on
us, Hoppy.
Spotify. You can listen
You
to
could
us in
subscribe,
your ear
but you also
holes.
couldn't.
You know.
And also, Donut Cast. Well, that's a nice hat you got there. Where'd you get it? And what if I have
wow,
money? If
this
I
hat right
had
here.
money-
Oh,
Yeah,
you
this
have
hat-
money? Wow, that's crazy. If you go to www.goonsquadpw.com, there's actually a section all for podcasts, and then there's stuff for animes, love animes, life, and this pod. We have loads of shit. Have a
Don't
look.
go to don't go to www.goonsquad.pw.com/podcast. Worst mistake of my life.
It's not the right
Also-
link.
Simon, are you drinking Liquid Death right now?
I'm drinking
Oh my.
Rockstar
could it be?
Green Apple.
You're drinking that
Oh.
at fucking 10 o'clock in the morning?
I needed it.
You can't just have coffee like a normal
Don't
fucking person.
expose
That-
when we fucking record like that.
Oh, sorry.
Poor
We already
guy.
said
Listen,
right
it was
earlier.
his. It was. Let me tell you something. This motherfucker right here. It was his idea to get up this early, and I was up before both. Well, I don't know if I was up before you. I was definitely up before you, Wyatt.
Oh,
And
dude.
his-
I'm fine. It's like
I set my
3
alarm for like
I'm
7
fine.
o'clock, but like when I did that, I was like kind of like awake, sort of, but I also got the best after sleep ever after that. I was like,
Oh, that's real shit, brother. I
Hey,
slept.
Wyatt.
hey, what's up, man?
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I get better sleep than Cam.
Anyway, let me address this. I just moved.
yeah, new set.
This is the new setup. This is get used to this.
curtain.
This is it.
A
So-
green curtain.
It looks kind of the same, but the camera's further back, so it looks better, in my opinion.
This
Anyway.
fucking guy was gonna sit back on his bed while recording it. He was gonna like sit on his pillow like a fucking jerk off. Oh my god, he's such a
So Matrix Reloaded.
This is how fucking
not my
Andre
pick, that's
records
not
his
my
fucking...
Who wants to go first?
well. Do you want to do plugs for? Because you just talked about your move.
Oh, yes, we
Wyatt,
did
do you
some
have
plugs.
anything?
Go.
Do you have anything?
I
you
would
wanna
like to
Wyatt?
plug... I got a little Brian Danielson edit on the YouTube channel, Platinum Peyton.
Very good.
YouTube.com/Platinum Peyton. It's a Brian Danielson music video that was made before the match with Swerve. So it's more of like a promo package, if you will, rather than a whole like match review. I gotta say too, it was more of a
We'll be cruising at 20,000 feet.
yeah, giggity.
So that reminds me, we should have had these little fuckers underneath.
There we go.
My blade has Wi-Fi.
So go Platinum Pay. He's on Instagram mostly.
Yeah, I synced it up
Posted
to
there.
one of my favorite songs, "The Man" by the Killers. So check that out.
Oh, I
Any
love
UFC
that
3
edit.
fans out there.
Great
Yeah,
fucking-
I love that edit.
Well made.
It's actually
Great
specifically, by the way, it's to the remember the movie Vice with Christian Bale? It's that version of the song in the trailer that's used, like the fucking boom.
I didn't even
like
notice
intro.
that. You think
Because I remember, dude.
Yes, why
I
I,
remember that
caught
trailer.
that immediately.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. That movie's whatever. But I remember that trailer being fucking awesome. Like, why isn't this version of this song out? Like, why isn't this a
Yeah,
version
yeah.
of the song that I can listen to? And I'm like, all right, I'll just go and like cancel all the dialogue out of the trailer and use that intro.
Dude,
And that's what I
it's
did.
like the
That's
fucking
awesome.
it's like the Matrix Resurrections trailer that has that amazing cover of White Rabbit by Jeff.
I don't want to talk about that movie.
God, no,
You will-
good movie. Be nice to that movie.
it just wasn't for me. That's all.
That's fair. Okay.
me.
You did a Brian Danielson edit. Guess what, Wyatt? I also did a Brian Danielson edit. I did a Brian Danielson versus Swerve Strickland edit from AEW All in Wembley, my match of the year, my new match of the year.
Oh yes.
And I said it because
It's
I
very good.
was little inside baseball here. I was going to set it just to Final Countdown, and I thought that was lazy as fuck upon reflection.
That is actually awful. I would have like not watched it
popping
or
remix.
commented. I would have hit the dislike button immediately. Booty popping remix.
I would have reported you to authorities for that shit.
I reported you like, yeah, this violates YouTube terms and conditions. Sorry.
That's gonna have like Zane's gonna do that to one of my edits one day when I don't do a good job on one. He's gonna report it.
Have you? I'm gonna call you out. Have you guys been putting the name of the song in the description?
Yeah, not in the description, but in the title.
in the
Don't
title
put
and the
title.
tags.
Put it in the description.
I
I
put
was
in
gonna
the
say I was just told about tags last night, and I don't
Because the
do
song
tags
will
at
get
all.
copyrighted, but it won't like take any action if you put the name of the song.
Well, my song's been my stuff is copyrighted, but I don't have any action taken on it. There was a copyright notice on it, but like
Literally,
I
all you need
Oh,
to do is
struck
name
down.
a song hyphen artist, and then you're fine.
Well, I had that in the video, and like in the first few seconds I have. And by the way, the song I chose was for all late 2000s, early 2010s depressed young kids like me. Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. And I don't want to brag, but it's already almost my most viewed video on my channel within 3
It
days.
might be your best. I think it is your best.
I think it's my best as well. I think it's my best because I've shown it to multiple people who are wrestling fans and aren't wrestling fans, and they all tear up at the end. And that was like a proud moment for me, genuinely. Like my dad who doesn't give a fuck about AEW was like tearing up by the end of it. So,
Yeah,
That's
Rick Rubin,
cool.
such a Rick Rubin.
my dad is not Rick Rubin. What are you talking about?
Chili Peppers fucking ding ding ding. Thank you, Rick Rubin.
But yeah, check that out. It's on Criterion Collection. I'm going to genuinely, that edit kind of reinvigorated what I want to do. So I'm going to try and
Oh, dude, that's how it is, man. Like, actually, believe it or not, I also posted another one that I forgot to plug last time, but I posted a Daredevil edit as well, set to the Alice in Chains song "Rotten Apple."
Rotten
That's a very
Apple.
good edit. I think
Did you
it's one of
plug the John
my better
Cena?
ones.
Did you plug the John Cena one as well? That
one is not on YouTube because it is filled with the WWE logo, and I'm not sure how to. I might have to go in there and do some things.
they just haven't fucked with my stuff. They just didn't fuck with my stuff for some reason.
I think what I'm gonna do, I might re-upload that to YouTube when he actually comes back. In the
okay.
Netflix era. Yeah.
Which is valid. That's
But yes, editing's fun.
it is.
pretty
It can be. I don't know what my next one's going to be. I might do if Gunther Randy is peak. I might do Gunther.
Oh, I do
Randy.
have one that's not unveiled to the public yet, but it will be very soon.
Let's.
Oh, keep your eyes on
Don't see
Cast because I'm going to be posting like a compilation of clips we had from when I went to All In.
Oh yes.
Very
Also,
probably
a vlog.
the day we're recording this.
Also, after we get to episode 20 of Good Bad Bruv, we are either Donut Cast or me or both are going to create a little highlights video of the first 20 episodes of the Good Bad Bruv, the funny moments, the good times, and we're going to have that up on the channel soon eventually as well, so you can watch that too.
Space World
So do I.
every
And
day.
you took it from me.
You took everything from me. I don't know who you are.
I think I'm gonna go trademark Base World as a term, and then I'm gonna
So
like, go
every
back.
time we say we owe you like $50,
Yeah, the ultimate revenge.
that would be sick actually.
All right.
So why don't you go first? I need to close my window because the light keeps going.
Wyatt, do you want to start? Because
I'm gonna go first. Why not?
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, movies fucking suck right now.
That's real.
There's nothing good.
Correct. This is real, brother. This is podcasting.
This is wrestling. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, what was it? We watched fucking Borderlands, which was awful. You know, I talked all up and down about that. Alien was fine, but it just wasn't. It wasn't like anything to write home about. It wasn't memorable really at all, aside from like the ending.
That's actually a shame, honestly.
The Crow was unbelievably horrendous, except for like the last like 10, 20 minutes when it actually has a really good fight scene, and then it just becomes shit again. Awful.
I read what
movie.
the
Don't
end.
go
I
see
read
it.
what the ending is, and it like actually made me angry when I read what the ending was. I was like, "This is."
It made me
fucking-
want to read the. It made me want to read the graphic novel, if anything.
Which
is
you were
good.
so funny when you said all it really was an extended music video.
It was. It literally felt like it. The structure was like there. It was unbelievable.
I
So,
feel you crumbling.
What I decided
my
to do, I decided to go through and just think about what is something that I truly, truly love. And and it came to me because I rewatched this show a little bit ago. I'm bringing a series.
Ooh,
Joker's Trick.
Joker's dick.
Joker's Dick.
Wow.
This is quite possibly my favorite television show of all time.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It is the
my.
first television series that I remember watching during prime time television.
Okay.
And that is the NBC television drama Heroes. Yeah.
Oh my!
Deep cut
Oh,
right
my.
here, boys.
I remember
So-
this bullshit.
Dude, I remember the trailers for this back in the day when I was a very young boy. I was about, this came out in 2000, I want to say it was late 2005 or so. I remember seeing a trailer for it during, like, TV was on or whatever. And I see this TV spot where it shows this girl saving this guy from a fire, and she's, like, on fire as she's saving him and everything. She gets, like, you know, blanket put over her, you know, flames get doused out, and the fireman goes, there's no burns. There's no burns. And then, boom, heroes. Thursdays this fall or whatever. And I was like, ooh, interesting. This show is, unfortunately, and I'm only going to be talking about the first season, really, because the first season of the show is phenomenal. It has a beginning, a middle, and a glorious ending. They could have just ended everything there, and it would have been totally fine. Sad to say, the show went on for another 4 seasons, and it got increasingly worse. Like, you know, you're hoping, like, when you see a bad season, you're like, it'll probably get better the next season. No. Steep decline after that. Writer's strike affected this show deeply. It was really bad. They started basically, towards the end of the show especially, they just started being a big Sprint phone commercial, pretty much. Everyone had a Sprint phone.
Wait, what? I don't know.
Everyone had a Sprint phone. They had like 17 web shows that were on NBC that also tied into Sprint for some reason. It was a weird fucking thing. They also even did a revival season back in 2015, which was fucking awful.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the good days right here. Like I said, first primetime series that I remember watching. You got a stacked roster here. You got Peter and Nathan Petrelli. You got Claire Bennett. You got Mohinder Suresh. You got Isaac. You got Hiro Nakamura. You got all of the guys. This is a very diverse cast of people. It is one of those shows where it starts off with a lot of people from different aspects in the world, and they're all kind of brought together by one connection, and that's the eclipse that they see. They see an eclipse, and they all, basically, their abilities become awakened, pretty much. Like I said, Claire Bennett, which is the one I talked about in the TV spot for the show, she basically can't die, and her whole thing, how it starts off, we're introduced to her, basically, she tries to see how much she can take before she actually dies, and none of it works. Literally, the first time you see her is her friend filming her jumping off a building, and then she, like, gets up, and she just goes, like puts her, like, bones back into place, like this, and she goes, this is attempt number 13. And it's like, she just does that basically throughout the whole show, throughout the whole first season. She just, like, does, like, crazy stunts, seeing how much she can fucking take before, like, she keels over, pretty much. Unbelievable setup right there.
Oh, I fell.
Peter Petrelli is kind of... yeah, Darby Allin. Then you got Peter Petrelli, played by Milo Ventimiglia, who is a great actor, by the way. And I think he should be in more shit, because he's awesome. He basically has this whole thing where he's having a lot of dreams that he can fly. And he has a lot of visions about him basically jumping off a building and flying through the air and everything. And we have his brother Nathan, who is a politician, who's the one that can actually fly. Spoilers. Ooh.
Oh.
So yeah, basically that's... I will spoil that right there because this is the first episode. I'll spoil some of this. I don't give a shit. It's been out for years. Basically, Peter Petrelli is this guy. He finally takes the leap of faith, if you will. And his brother saves him. And yeah, he flies in the air. And then,
Biden.
Exactly. But what happens is that he drops him, and he gets severely injured for a minute. Peter Petrelli gets severely injured, and because Nathan's a politician, he has. Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
What? Joe
Biden?
Anyway, thanks for derailing the whole thing.
I was in Heroes.
I was in Heroes. But basically, what happens is that the setup for this is that yeah, like I said, Nathan drops his brother by accident.
Yep.
Falls off. He gets a bit injured, not too badly, but basically because Nathan's a politician, he's running for senator. He has to cover this up. So basically he says, like, yeah, my brother attempted suicide, and that, of course, pisses Peter off greatly because that wasn't what he was doing. This whole thing, he thinks he's a pathological liar after this point, doesn't trust him, that whole thing. We got Isaac, probably one of the coolest powers ever right here. So this guy's basically a comic book artist. He's a painter as well. Has a whole, like, loft where he just, like, paints shit and everything. And basically, he's also a heroin addict, and he blacks out sometimes. When he blacks out, he sees a bunch of paintings that he doesn't remember painting, and they all eventually start to come to fruition. So basically, he paints the future pretty much.
That's actually
but the thing is, though, he doesn't know that he has these abilities, so he associates it with the heroin, so he keeps shooting heroin and hoping that he can, like, figure out what these paintings mean, basically.
I always enjoy stuff that has, like, superhero powers and then, like, them correlating it to a real world and, like, how people would actually react to that certain thing.
Yep.
Another one is, like I said before, Hiro Nakamura, which was the infamous, yatta! That was, like, the big meme at the time. I did it in Chinese, and he would, he can stop time. He looks at the clock in his office, and he goes, and he, like, notices it stops. And he's like, oh, so he can stop time, he can bend time, he can time travel, he can jump through, like, teleportation. He eventually just gets so fed up with where he is I believe he's in Hong Kong, I believe. And he basically just gets fed up with his life. He just, like, concentrates really hard, and boom, he's in Times Square in New York City. And he's like, yes! Like, he's the most joyous, fun character, I think, in any television series, because you just love him. Like, you just, like, see him for a second, you're just like, I love this guy. Like, he kind of...
he's like Asian NoHo Hank.
No. He actually is more like, kind of like Kei Kwan a little bit in...
in Everything Everywhere?
Yeah.
In Everything Everywhere?
Yeah, he has that kind of vibe to him where you just really like this guy instantly.
Okay.
We have Mohinder Suresh, who I mentioned before, who basically is kind of like this, the son of this, great scientist and everything, but he's not really quite on par with his father because he kind of chases meaningless beliefs about evolution, basically. Like, he thinks that, like, humanity is reaching a new point in evolution where they basically gain superpowers, and basically... He's kind of like the Nick Fury almost of this cast, because he doesn't have powers, but he's the one that kind of unites them, kind of. Because they all go to him for, like, answers, pretty much.
That's his superpower. He's a leader. That's his superpower.
Exactly. Then we have Nikki. This is a weird fucking character. Her whole thing is that she is kind of like a burnout a little bit. She does some shady things for money, some shady web things on the internet and everything. She eventually gets like kind of forced upon by someone, and then she blacks out and she wakes up and he's dead. Like, there's blood everywhere, and then she looks in her mirror and she sees her reflection and it's her going. So she basically has like a multiple personality thing going on. One evil half, one good half, kind of. So yeah. This show, I cannot recommend this first season enough. It is on Peacock, if anyone has that. I'm sure it's on other streaming services, but it is, like I said, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Same with Daredevil, where it's like it nails everything across the board. Acting, writing, directing, cinematography, music. Just unbelievable stuff. The music is all very, like, kind of tribal, too, which is cool. Very Matrix-esque as well, I would say. Because it's all about, like, finding that missing piece, sort of, that thing that everyone can relate to, finding that missing piece. Like, everyone's kind of like, why am I here? And they all have kind of realized why they're here towards the end of the show. And of course, I'd be befuddled if I didn't bring up the great Zachary Quinto as Sylar in this show, the villain of the show.
Oh, that's peak.
He basically is a serial killer who basically wants to figure out what makes people tick and how these people come to be. So he basically starts tracking down all of these people who exhibit powers. And he has this thing where he can basically use his finger and slice through their skull. Like, just go like this. And, like, basically their head just comes clean off, and he basically scoops their brain out and, like, examines it. Yeah. He is a fucked up killer, man. He is a fucking cool character.
Zachary Quinto, I guess I just didn't like, because, like, he's Spock.
This is
and that's
pre-Spock. Yeah, this is pre-Spock. This is when he was like, no, dude, he is fucking awesome in this show. What a cool fucking character.
Out there.
Yeah. And of course, like I said, I don't want to spoil too much of the show because, like I said, it's worth watching. First season's phenomenal. Stop after that. You don't need to watch anything else. It ends perfectly after that. Fantastic stuff, though. Highly recommend. I give it I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 bags of popcorn plus a McDonald's Sprite.
And the McDonald's Sprite, that's like 8 bags of popcorn. That's like 8 bags of popcorn right there.
That's better than, like, semen. Guys, I'm going to bring my next thing. Shut up. I'm going to bring my thing to the table.
Can I just say something about Heroes real quick, though? Because I haven't seen all of it. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen parts of it. But I think when I look at Heroes, I kind of relate it to Lost in a sense, where it's like it's one of the last like big like high concept ensemble casts, I guess. Like,
oh, absolutely, like Lost and Heroes both kind of fall into the same vein. They were kind of airing at the same time as well, and they were kind of like the last big TV shows that were on network TV before like HBO and everything came into play.
And they had these high, like really high diversity casts and
yeah. It's like I said, it's unbelievable, man. Like especially
Total
the
Drama
writing, like I
Island.
said.
Total drama. Yeah, that's it, baby.
And like I said, man, even the writing in this show, like some of the dialogue feels like comic book panel dialogue. Like it's like, ooh, I like.
Who were the creators behind Heroes again? Who was the main minds behind?
His name was Tim Kring. Was his name? He also the only other thing that he made, as far as I'm concerned, is the show Touch with Kiefer Sutherland, which was not very.
I've seen an episode of that.
I've seen an episode. Everyone's seen an episode, and that's it.
I don't think
I've ever. I actually don't think I've ever seen an episode of Touch. Actually, I don't fucking. I'm gonna touch the screen.
It stars what's his name? The kid who played young Bruce Wayne in Gotham is in it. Yeah.
I love that actor.
Well, this is when he wasn't good, so sorry.
You stupid boy!
This is when he was dog shit.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll bring Gotham one day to the table because that
Heroes season 1 is
fucking
awesome-tacular.
Gotham's great because it starts off as being like, oh, this is actually kind of good, and then it just gets into fucking insane territory. We're just like, this is awesome.
The first episode of Gotham is like, okay, get with it, and even like from the second episode on, it just becomes a fucking clown
just
show.
pure insanity. Like it's like Riverdale tier, dude.
I don't know about that.
Simon,
okay.
Riverdale's funny. Fuck you.
Simon, do you want to go next or?
Without spoiling anything, I think mine will bridge into our next segment.
Okay.
A little better. So I'm actually.
Well,
I want you to go next. Okay.
All right. Well, you better get ready because it's like, whoa now.
Whoa. I'm gonna piss on your boobies.
No, I don't have balls.
Dick.
Boys, I'm gonna have to do it to you again.
Joker's trick.
Joker's trick. He did a Joker's trick. He did another one.
Hole.
Joker's trick again.
There's 2 Joker's tricks.
Because I brought a video game.
No.
Yeah. And the only
You're rotting the youth.
You will have to answer to the Jedi Senate.
That poop cock.
Anyway,
So I brought this video game because I feel like it still kind of borders as a piece of entertainment media. It is one of my favorite things to ever exist.
I think I know what it is.
I've been through it several times. I've seen several different friends react to it. I think it's one of the most creative and clever pieces of art we've ever had. I'm of course talking about the Stanley Parable.
I think
Of course.
the greatest game that I've not played yet.
It's genuinely one of the best games ever made. It genuinely is. So you start in this basic premise, right? This guy called Stanley works at an office job. He's tapping away. And everyone else in the building is gone. And the game doesn't have to be big budget. This is made on the Gmod engine.
I was about to say this is the Gmod.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
It's maybe the Gmod source, so it has all the stuff from like it just takes from that build. But like, there's no big budget. It's literally just the most. It is the cleverest game I've ever played in my entire life because you'll start off and you'll walk through the exact same office every single time, and sometimes it will change. But that doesn't affect the story whatsoever. It's just to fuck with you. This entire game is to fuck with your head because everything changes every single time. So the very basic example of what this game's all about is you have a narrator and he sounds very British. He's like, Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He went to the door on his left. And the whole point is you can either listen to the narrator or you can betray him.
I love shit like this.
There is, I think, after the deluxe version came out, I reckon there's about 150 endings in this game.
Damn.
And I still haven't found them all. So I'm still going back and playing it to this day.
So okay, just question: is that like 150 specific unique endings, or is
Specific
it like a lot of,
unique endings.
Or are a lot of the endings like the same, but like they have different
There are
variables?
endings
They
that
have, like,
kind of
different
similar,
variables.
but like you'll get an ending that takes like 5 unique steps to get to, and then there's like one thing you can do to change it, and it will be a completely different ending.
I was gonna say, usually a lot of these games, a lot of the times where it's just like, oh, choose your path, select your ending, and everything like that. Like, usually they're all bullshit. Like, a lot of the Telltale games and everything, especially, they're just like, there's usually like 2 endings.
Yeah.
Like,
They
all kinda
always lead to the same ending.
Like,
Yeah,
look
you're
at
right.
Walking Dead will always end with Lee dying. Either he
Dying,
turns into a zombie or he gets shot. Like, that's the end.
Whereas the opposite is something like this, or like Until Dawn is another one too. Whereas that
Stanley
actually does have
Parable
ending.
will
Detroit
test
Become
your
Human. Detroit
like
Become Human as well. I think has that.
Stanley Parable will test you. It will literally make you go, think of something, go try it, and 99.9% of the time, the devs have already thought about it and made it an
Wow,
ending.
that's fucking cool.
So the very first room, I remember this, and I was baffled when it happened. The very first room, there is a window, and you can like kind of glitch up onto a desk, crouch, and walk through the window, and you'll go into this white like box. Like, just because they didn't, obviously you'd think they didn't think about that. So you fall down through the window and then it's just a white box. And then the narrator goes, the player thought that this was a secret little hack and they broke the game, but this is actually another ending. And it's like, oh
That's
my
awesome.
God.
Dude, I love shit
yeah.
like this. Like, I don't know if you ever played Superliminal, like that game.
I love that game.
Yeah, that's another good shout.
Fucking what was the other one? 12 minutes. Like, I love just weird experimental
12
shit
minutes
like that.
12 minutes is less like choose your own though, because that also has like one.
That also has like one
has,
ending, but it's just like very like weird, like beep boop beep. Like, it's just like very like
That's why I love games like that, because it tests you. It's like, how would you go about it? So the main storyline people always say about Stanley Parable is you go through the exact doors that he says, and then the ending would be that Stanley would find this facility where he finds out that his building's been run by people watching him. There's cameras everywhere, the big camera room. And then he chooses to turn the power off, and then he escapes. So that was the main ending. And then when you've done that, the whole game just changes. Like, sometimes you'll wake up in an office that isn't your office, and then you'll go through the office, and then you'll just end up back at the 2 doors. Like nothing just happened.
Oh god.
So
Existential nightmare.
one of my favorite endings in this game is you'll go to the 2 doors and you say, you go to the left, you go through the right one. And then he'll give you another chance to say, okay, now you go through the door on the left, you do it. Then you go on an escalator, and he's like, listen, Stanley, I think we got off on the wrong foot here. You need to trust me. You then drop down onto a bridge, and he's like, what have I done wrong? Like, honestly, what am I doing wrong? So then he starts getting pissed off, and he's like, all right, listen very carefully. I need you to listen. There's a red door and a blue door in front of him. This is my favorite ending in the whole game. The red door and the blue door is like my desktop background. I love that ending. He says, Stanley walks through the red door. You go for the fucking blue door, and then he spawns you back at the spot, and there's like light arrows like pointing at the red door. And he's like, go through the red door, and then you turn around, the blue door's behind you. So you go through the blue door.
Oh god.
And then he's like, okay,
this
maybe we
seems-
don't like this. Maybe we don't like this game. So then the whole game becomes the narrator being the developer of the game. Like, that's another ending. So he's like,
my God.
he drags you out to a part of the map that isn't finished. There's just unfinished textures and shit. He's like, look, I haven't even done this part yet. So he's like, how about this? How about we go play a game that's good? He puts you in Minecraft. What? And he's like, go build a house. And then you have to build a house. And then he goes, you don't like this? Okay. He puts you in fucking Portal. Then you have to put the cube on the button and shit. It's like, oh man.
That's actually
fucking
fucking
It is a
Oh,
genius game.
I
Absolutely
gotta play
genius.
this. Is there a certain console you'd recommend playing this on? Or does it matter?
PC.
PC? Yeah.
I mean, the deluxe is on the consoles as well. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, is there a certain one that is better?
I genuinely think PC. Well, yeah, PC's better, but I genuinely think I should record myself doing this with you two present. I mean, I could just show you.
I thought
'cause, like,
about playing this after you said that. So yeah.
I want you guys to choose what I do, and then
that'd
like
be
I'll show you that literally doesn't matter what you pick. This will be a different ending than the last time.
I was gonna say, this seems like a game that's impossible to spoil.
No,
there's, like,
genuinely.
50
I mean,
different endings.
Yeah.
I did just spoil like 2 of the endings, but like I said, that's one of hundreds of fucking endings.
Because like
So,
I looked it up and I read that there was only like 20 something endings to the game.
in the
So, like,
first one, there was
Oh,
like,
they updated it.
okay.
and then they
like-
updated it, and then they released the deluxe version. There's like so many, and I still haven't figured it out.
That's
It's
actually
because in the deluxe version, there's a whole bit, like a whole joke in the game, that the narrator was building Stanley Parable 2 in secret. So you go into this big like museum, and he's showing you like
Oh,
the
that's
features he wanted to put in it, and then there's a bucket. It's called the Stanley Parable bucket. And then after that ending, the bucket will be in the office. If you do the same endings as before, but holding the bucket, it will be a completely different fucking storyline. So the bucket is like a trigger for more endings, which is crazy that they thought of this, and that must have taken them so long to do it.
it's
honestly.
crazy, actually. Like,
It genuinely is one of my favorite things to ever exist.
well, dude,
And yeah,
Stanley Parable is like very influential. I think not just on indie, but like on like high budget games that have like even games that do it really poorly. The games that have multiple endings, like another indie game I think that does multiple endings quite well is actually Papers, Please. I don't know if anybody here has played Papers, Please.
oh,
I think Papers, Please does
legendary.
I think it does it. Oh my,
Legendary
the Russia
game.
Oh, and it has like again a lot of the endings are just like variable endings where it's like oh you change like this ending's still generally the same but this part's different, you know, like there's like one little text change.
Isn't that
But there
game
is
just
one-
like paying taxes or something? Like,
No, it's you're at a border patrol and you're going through like passports and shit.
It's like
You have to,
Checkpoint
fuck
Charlie.
different-
You have to like check every single detail of their
the
passport
fuck is
and shit.
Checkpoint Charlie?
No, genuinely, Wyatt, it is so much more fun than it is It is so fucking addictive, and it's so like. And the thing is, it has an endless mode that you have to unlock. But the only way you get the endless mode is because the whole thing is like you're a border agent for like this like corrupt government Arstatska.
Ooh, it's very
And-
topical. Ooh.
The only way you get endless mode is if you do everything Arstatska says and you kill like all this the other story options, and then they give you endless mode at the end. It's basically like oh yeah, you were a good little soldier, now you're gonna do this for the rest of your life, and that's how they give you endless mode, which I actually think is
Damn.
really clever.
That's actually very
And
clever, yeah.
And they have if you pirate the game, if you get a pirated copy and you download it and you boot it up, there's this reoccurring like he's like this government operative agent who comes and checks on you like a couple times throughout the story.
Mhm.
If you boot up the pirated copy, he'll be at your window immediately. He'll kill you, and then it'll remove the game from your fucking hard drive, saying that piracy is which is insane. Like,
That's fucking amazing.
yeah, it's
Oh my
awesome.
God. That's incredible.
Yeah,
Kills the whole
when you have
game.
a good video game like that, it really is fucking awesome.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
anyway, I'll finish it off by saying one of the greatest Easter eggs in video games history, right?
Yep.
Because they released this game on console, which includes the Nintendo Switch. There is a room in this game that is supposed to be like the semi-boss of the company. And there is a painting on his wall of... They never explain it. It's a man holding a gun to a panda's head. It is a funny fucking photo that they never explained it.
That's amazing.
If you play the Switch version, they've edited the photo so it's Super Mario holding the gun. And they did not tell Nintendo. All you can see is a red arm with a glove on it, like holding the gun, which I think is so funny.
I was gonna say it's that
they
different
snuck
Mario's
that
like,
in.
whole likeness.
I
It's
want to
gotta be
find
just-
I want to find the picture.
I'm gonna make that my fucking laptop background. I'm gonna make
It's so funny, man. I couldn't believe it.
holy shit, that's great. Oh
Yeah, but
my
we
That's
should.
awesome.
We will play the game for the YouTube.
That's a
like,
live
it's like-
stream. That's a live stream right there. That's a
Live stream right there, yeah.
I think that's a lot of
Genuinely,
fun.
very, very good. Very, very.
Do you think they'll ever actually make the Stanley Parable 2 a thing, or is that just like a joke?
No, I think this is like, if they want to keep updating it, like obviously the Ultra Deluxe was justified because it's been like 10 years since the game came out. So if they want to keep updating it over time, that's completely fine. But
6,000
I genuinely
endings.
think you don't need to update it. Like they added so much content to the game that like you could genuinely play it forever and you'd still find new shit.
Do you think it would? Do you think like the Super Ultra Deluxe that has like all the fucking crazy edits? Do you think that would run on my terrible MacBook?
Maybe.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it next week. Maybe I'll buy
Yeah.
it.
No. There you
That's
go.
actually good.
Go play the Stanley
Awesome.
Parable.
Great game. Great game. Excellent game.
Yes.
Can we pause for 1 second so I can pee?
No.
You know what? I actually have to piss as well, so I'm gonna go
Yeah,
do
let's-
that as
let's
well.
take
We're
a
gonna take a little, and we're gonna keep this in the video.
In fact,
Actually,
keep this in the video and then cut like as soon as Wyatt says something out of line.
All right, guys. So now this is just Wyatt talk now. So
Yeah, do Wyatt talk.
yeah. So you guys ever watch the viewers at home? Have you guys ever seen Aeon Flux, the MTV series? Ran on MTV for like, I don't know, like a season or two. They made like a real movie with Charlize Theron, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, was this really that big of a show that they made a whole movie? Especially with the big actors like Charlize Theron, like what? Like, it's weird. Like, why couldn't we get like you tell me Clone High couldn't have had a season 2 back in the day? Like, we had to wait so long for it, and it became shit. Like, it could have been good if it came out, like, back in the day. Kind of similar to how they did Aeon Flux, but I guess not. How about Downtown? I brought that one time for what the hell is it called again? Bring It to the Table. No, What We Got, yeah. I would like to see Downtown season 2. That would have been cool. Or a Downtown movie would be nice as well. Also, why didn't MTV actually do that Ultimate Spider-Man series they were going to do? I'm so pissed that we got that new animated series thing, which I did like. I do like the new animated series quite a bit, but like, we could have had an adaptation of Ultimate Spider-Man on MTV in that animation style. Like, dude, that would have been awesome. Like, what? Like, I don't know. I guess what we got was pretty good, though, still. Not a huge deal. What I really want to know is MTV ever going to bring back the Max? Remember the Max? He was like a purple dude with like giant teeth, and he had like middle finger claws or something. Oh, it was so cool, dude. Kind of had like this Gendy Tartovsky fucking vibe to it, but it like wasn't. It was like really fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. They should bring that back. I think it'd be cool. Another thing I would like to see is maybe what was another one? Oh yeah, Wonder Shows. I'm surprised that hasn't been brought back yet. Pretty much just talking about a lot of MTV shows. Wonder Shows was a really good show, but like I wonder if they could reboot that. That'd be really interesting.
Oh my god, we came back at the exact same time.
That was weird.
I came back to Wyatt, like he was having like a single soliloquy like on his own. He was like,
Wyatt, I
I'll tell
hope
you
you
guys.
slowly zoomed in on your face as you were saying that.
No, I didn't. No.
I think Cass
Well, you-
skipped that episode.
you'll have to
We
know
make
what
that
I-
happen.
You won't know what I said, by the way, until
I don't.
this episode comes out.
Let's
This
go.
became a shit, bro. That was scary. I've
That,
seen some
When you
stuff.
shit out your dick hole, it's like, oh my god.
I didn't do that.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That doesn't happen to
We
you?
don't do that.
you guys are fucking disgusting. Jesus
I
Christ.
just said I took a fat shit. Is that right?
I mean, to be fair, I did too, so I can't really.
No.
No.
I gotta take a fucking shit.
I can't say that. Can't say that on air.
the nice fella is right.
It's right.
Gotta take a fucking shit.
Because I like it that
And
way.
while he's taking this little describable shit, you are gonna blow me.
Vaguely continental shit.
Vaguely communicated shit.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay,
We're
my
back.
Simon, what do you bring?
Simon, what'd you
Yeah.
bring? Simon, what did you bring? What? Simon, what'd you bring to the table?
Joker's trick, baby! I didn't bring a movie. I brought a documentary.
We don't like those.
And not only that,
Wow, none of us brought a movie.
Joker's
Crazy.
trick, baby! It's a wrestling documentary because I am on a bridge in the DDT 7. And
Is this what I think it is?
It's not. If you're thinking Dark Side of the Ring, it is not Dark Side.
No, not that one.
It is actually as of when I watched it, free to watch on YouTube. It's about an hour and a half. It's about an hour and a half. This is The Last of McGinnis. This is the documentary that was released in, I believe, late 2011, early 2012, about the final year of the in-ring career
Of
of
Gavin McGinnis.
one Nigel McGuinness, one of the greatest professional wrestlers to have ever walked this earth, one of the most influential professional wrestlers in the history of independent wrestling and just technical wrestling and Brit wrestling and all that stuff.
See, for a second, I thought you were going to say you brought Beyond the Mat, which I would have been like.
I did not bring, because like, here's my thing, right, with these wrestling, like Dark Side of the Ring is great. Genuinely, like it is like such a well-made series, honestly. But what I kind of find hard about a lot of wrestling documentaries is that not even that they're sad. I mean, like this one that I brought is very sad, especially near the end.
True.
But they are so high production that it's like hard for me to feel like I'm actually like getting to know the wrestler. You know, like I feel like there's always a wall being put up. This is basically a set of vlogs. This is Nigel himself recording everything that he was doing in this. So for those who don't know, the movie fans watching, Nigel McGuinness was an amazing professional wrestler, working for Ring of Honor. Came up around the same time as a guy named Bryan Danielson, who we've already mentioned a few times in this video. Le American Dragone. And Nigel, some people claim, was actually a better in-ring wrestler than Bryan. I'm not going to stake my claim on that. It's kind of hard to say because they are both fantastic. Tragically, in 2009, when Bryan left the independents to go to WWE, Nigel was going to go with him, but Nigel was honest about his concussion history, which led to WWE not signing him. Bryan lied about his concussion history and got hired, which is kind of beast, honestly. Nigel,
I bet he feels like a fucking dumbass now.
Well, yeah, but it's also
Nigel probably had it way worse, right?
Yeah, well, like I mean, something else would happen.
Crazy.
Nigel would then in 2010 he would do a brief TNA run, which was not very good, and he was not very good. They did not use him to his full potential there. And then
bro gassing up Ric Flair. The greatest wrestler of all time.
That's him talking about.
This is real, brother.
This is real. This is real, mate. This is graps. And shortly after that, tragically, Nigel was diagnosed with hepatitis, which meant no more wrestling.
Was it hepatitis C?
No, I think it was hepatitis. I think it was hepatitis B. Genuinely, I think it, because I remember the WWE. I remember the WWE documentary about Nigel. I remember that.
Now that is a liver condition, correct?
Among those, I genuinely, I'm not gonna cap. I'm very, very poor with my body knowledge.
Medical history.
But all I know is that it's in the blood, and for somebody like Nigel, the likelihood, sadly, is that he got the disease from when he was wrestling because he bled a lot. Nigel McGuinness bled a lot in his fucking professional wrestling career. He was a big fucking blader. So this is him chronicling from about late 2010 through late 2011, the final year, his last year run on the independents before he hanged up the boots. And it's really amazing because it's just so like, not many wrestling documentaries get you in the mindset of the professional wrestler themselves. I kind of equate that documentary that came out a few years ago, Val, the one where Val Kilmer filming all this stuff. All that stuff.
That was good.
And you get you literally are seeing everything through Val's eyes. You're seeing his career, his thoughts, everything as his condition when he gets diagnosed with his condition that leads to him losing his voice for the most part. All that stuff, right? Nigel, it's not quite to that extreme, but there's no other wrestling documentary that feels this like handmade and like hand edited. It's not like the best
shit like that. Yeah.
It's not even like the best. It's not necessarily like the best edited or the best filmed or the best quality like video watching this documentary. But I think that's part of the charm. I think that's why you get into it. And it serves as this like really bittersweet ode to Nigel, who again was for such a long time an unsung like hero of wrestling for such a really long time, but through no fault of his own had his career tragically cut short, or so we thought. And I think looking back, you know, there's also, I'll give a little side recommendation. There's a great video from wrestling YouTuber Joseph Montecillo, which covers the rivalry between Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness in Ring of Honor. Every single match they had, every match that they've been involved with. And it's a fantastic video that chronicles Nigel's like storyline in that regard and compares it to the movie Amadeus, which is fantastic. I just kind of wanted to mention it because it takes on a much more positive, optimistic meaning now, because for those who watched All In on Sunday, live from Wembley Stadium,
He's back.
Nigel McGuinness made his return to professional wrestling, wrestling in the Casino Gauntlet, in better shape than ever, arguably, like just physically.
I was bawling my eyes out.
Like,
Dude, I actually didn't know that he was supposed to join Bryan in WWE. I did not know that.
Yeah, when Ring of Honor, so basically the end of their feud, the last match they had, it's not like they're one of their best matches, it's just kind of like greatest hits running through all the shit that they did before. In 2009, because Bryan got signed to do the NXT gimmick in early 2010, right? That was when he was the Miz's rookie, because of all the people, the Miz is the veteran for Bryan Danielson, right?
That's really funny still. That's so
Can you
funny.
imagine if they stuck like Nigel McGuinness with like fucking
R-Truth.
John Moore?
Like, R-Truth is a veteran.
R-Truth's actually good, so you know, like I can't really shit on R-Truth.
They stick him with like Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase Jr., not regular.
Yeah, not regular. Ted DiBiase Shippuden.
Ted DiBiase GT. I just wanted to focus on that, and there's a moment at the end, it's like right near the end, that kind of bridges both the cynical and the optimistic side, where Nigel's sitting in his car at the very end, and it's like right near the end, it's like one of his last matches, and he's just lamenting his life, how he feels like a failure, and he's yelling in his car about how it's not fair, how he just had a dream. But then the documentary ends on, I can't remember, I think it's December 17th, 2011, when he watches Daniel Bryan cash in Money in the Bank at TLC 2011 to win the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. And he says that Dragon did it, he made it, and he holds it up, and that's one of the last things you see in it. And I think it just epitomizes all of it.
That's awesome.
It is genuine. It's hard. It's hard to watch at points. It's very difficult. But it's just especially sad because Nigel was also so young. He was only like in his 30s. He had a whole.
He's young as fuck, man. Like he's only like what 40 something now.
Yeah, which makes me happy that he's back in the ring because he's not gonna have a fucking 10-year run, but he could have.
We forget too, like his NXT commentary was probably like it was a bit rocky for a bit.
Yeah.
Because like when he started off, dude, he could not stop saying ROH when talking about NXT. He's like, oh yes, the ROH. I mean, NXT champion. But he really came into his own though, like later in that year as a commentator. He was really good.
I just don't think Nigel fits like the WWE MO. At least that point in time, the WWE MO.
When he started doing more of the character
moment
stuff,
they brought him on for AEW commentary, it was like a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
because he could just be himself and he could be more like
him, just shitting on Danielson all the time.
We love Christian Cage.
There's a reason why Bryan Danielson has won the Technical Wrestler of the Year award 4 years in a row. It's because he paid for it.
I fucking love him, dude.
And I just hope that this All In thing is not a one-off. I hope that he's gonna have at least.
He never wrestles again. No.
Well, Shivani, there's only two dudes better than me, and I'm both of them.
Boy, put your clothes back on.
Put your clothes back on.
You are making me.
So can we talk about how Mariah May gave him a smooch and like ignited the flame
His
again?
whole life.
He looked like a Muppet when that happened. His face like turned into like a Muppet face. Like,
Yeah.
I love Nigel, man. I'm so happy for him.
And genuinely just. I think about sometimes like what would have happened if Nigel had gotten the proper run that he deserved.
He
for the
wrestled
last
that
13
match
years.
at 48, and he looked crazy.
He looked fantastic, like just
really,
absolutely
really good.
lovely. And he could like, I don't know if he would have necessarily reached the heights that Bryan did had he gone to WWE. I'm not really sure, but I like to think that he would have gotten close.
It's very upsetting to me that like guys like Ric Flair can still wrestle in their 70s for no fucking reason whatsoever other than the fact that they want to. But guys like this have like years taken off their lives and then they come back. Like it's cool that they come back.
It
but it's
reminds
just like,
me. It
man,
reminds me of Edge when he came back.
like it's like you have people that literally can't wrestle anymore. Like Tyson Kidd literally can't wrestle anymore. Nothing they can do about it. He's never gonna wrestle again. And I always think about that. I'm like,
Biggie.
man, it's really
Biggie.
unfair. Yeah, Big E is another one. Well, we don't know. We'll see. But
Look, if
I hope
Big E
so.
wrestles again, that's going to be an all-timer return.
oh yeah,
That should. I'm not to go to like wrestling.
wanna
like,
talk
Facebook
about it.
train.
Dude. Not to be like, I hope this happens, but like, you have this new storyline with because people are teasing
Honestly,
Xavier
Bruv.
Woods as turning
Which is good.
because he
which
had
is
the
actually
black gear
interesting.
on Monday.
mm-hmm.
So if that happens, that would be a perfect time to have Big E come back and save it.
I think
Kofi turns heel.
Kofi and Woods, like that, like the breakup of the New Day, that is a WrestleMania tier feud /
Yeah, you can't
storyline,
just
honestly.
waste that. You got to make some really good shit
And
out of that.
even if Big E can't wrestle for that, he should be at least be like the guest ref or something like that. He should
That'd be
be
yeah.
involved.
He needs to be present for it. He needs to be like
Yeah.
Sean was during like the Triple H and Taker
Yeah.
stuff. It needs to be like that.
That, and again, if Big E comes back, that he should be the next one they build their big long-term story around after Cody. Like his rise back to the world championship should be what they do with that, honestly, because people love him that
Hey, man.
much.
Anyway,
Simon, how many stars?
Oh,
popcorn
I'm gonna give Nigel McGuinness the Last of McGuinness, which is actually not the Last of McGuinness, thank God. I'm going to give it 4 booms and a jawbreaker lariat.
Ooh,
So I think that's really like 7 booms out of 5 when you really think about it. So like, it's just fantastic stuff. And again, it's free. You can watch it on YouTube. So watch it.
I completely forgot to rate Stanley Parable. I'll give it a pint of Guinness and a handy
Reno
behind the
was-
blockbuster. Anyway, so
Handy
we're going to be watching we're going to not be watching, we're going to be discussing now.
What's the
Because-
segment where we do that, Cass? What's the
Well,
segment
give
where
me
we
a
do that?
second here, Cappuccino, Al Pacino. because-
Tell me what it is! Tell me what it is!
Jesus.
Tell me what it is!
It's DDT7. Anyway, we're gonna get into DDT7 in just a second. Wyatt, I actually forgot. Would you like to know the results of your last poll?
I would love to
Oh,
actually.
yes.
All right. So,
All roads.
on the episode we had with the lovely Star Wars Facts guy, we put a poll. The poll was, what TV show deserves a revival? Sound like Norm Macdonald. What
say
TV
that-
show deserves a revival?
You gotta make
We
a
have
norm punchline
3.
for every option.
We have 3 in second place and a first place.
All right, what is second place? What's
So
the
second place was Seinfeld, Napoleon Dynamite TAS,
the animated series. Yep,
and Disney's Fillmore.
Fillmore's good, bro. Fuck you.
First place and getting a revival. Cavemen.
Oh yeah, the Geico.
Geico.
Series. Yeah. So do you guys remember there was a TV series based off of the Caveman Geico commercials? It lasted for 1 season. It was called Cavemen, and it was about them in modern society trying to navigate life.
So they say that they want Fillmore to get a revival, but Fillmore didn't get many seasons. I guess you could say that it was Phil less.
That is he would say that. He would fucking say that.
Maybe they should fill more scripts with good writing. Okay,
Yeah, we should watch Fillmore. That show's good.
No, we should. We're gonna do DDT7. It's a top 7. We haven't done this in ages.
7.
And we only thought it was fitting that we do top 7 Bryan Danielson / Daniel Bryan moments.
Oh yes.
So
This was very difficult. This was a
It was
Includes
so hard.
matches, segments,
this includes matches, segments, literally anything he's
promos,
done.
all of it.
Yeah, we were gonna do matches originally, and if we had done matches, it probably would have we would have to do a top 50 each, honestly, for Bryan Danielson matches, because Jesus Christ, what a lineup! I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm fired up.
I'm ready to go.
Oh hell yeah! Let's go.
You may be surprised that a certain thing is omitted from this though.
Simon, you go first.
Real quick honorable mention, just cause. I have the honorable mention. This might sound blasphemous. His original Ring of Honor World Championship victory. Great moment. I think it was more about the reign afterwards as opposed to the moment and the match itself. I have his Survival of the Fittest win, that in 2004 won the first ever Survival of the Fittest tournament. This is back before Survival of the Fittest was a match type when it was actually like a tournament back in the Ring of Honor days. His first WWE Championship win over John Cena, because as great of a moment as that was, it was more about what happened afterwards and the storyline that WWE definitely planned out. Also his Money in the Bank win. I watched that live back before I watched every single pay-per-view. We ordered Money in the Bank 2011 for old pay-per-view price, and that was the first match.
$60, right?
I mean, it was worth it. It was worth it for Brian winning Money in the Bank and that main event, honestly. So it was totally worth it. And the last one is him coming out of retirement. Again, it was less about the moment and more just about the announcement. The announcement itself was exciting, and my God, did WWE waste those first few months of Brian being able to wrestle again. They just absolutely wasted them for
You didn't like his match with Big Cass, dude? Come on, man.
Did you like his tag team reunion with Team Hell No against the
I'm going to win the Rumble, and I'm going to challenge Daniel Bryan, and I'm going to shit the bed. I have two honorable mentions. I have
all right.
Him and Ospreay, the ending of that match where everyone thought he died.
Oh, okay, that's a good shout.
And fist me, boys!
Fist me, boys!
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, and I guess the new Daniel Bryan heel turn, the actual heel turn when he turned.
I'm gonna be serious. I was gonna put like anything to do with eco-friendly Bryan on the list, but I thought of other shit. But yeah,
you won't believe what number 1 is.
Oh,
my God. Oh, and the 7th member of Team WWE is Daniel Bryan.
He's Daniel Bryan. You say Wyatt?
My honorable mentions. First off, I select Daniel Bryan.
Yeah! Genuinely high moment. The crowd loses their shit for it. Yeah.
I select Daniel Bryan.
Another one is, I'm gonna say this right now. The WrestleMania 30 victory.
Yeah.
Only because, and I want to make this clear, only because it is not Danielson's first title win. If that was his first title win, it absolutely would be on this list, but he won the World Heavyweight title and...
Wait, sorry, I just realized what you said.
Yes.
He's not including WrestleMania 30.
No. Just that segment, because there's a lot of other stuff on this list that I want to include. And that was the one where I'm like, okay, you know what? I have something in this list that is beneficial to me.
Why did we choose him to be on the pod?
I'm not going to be bullied.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm going against the grain here, bro. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
I have a way better thing on this list, alright?
He's gonna have like fucking Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett from SummerSlam 2011 on the list.
No, that's an honorable mention too. An honorable mention, Money in the Bank win. Awesome. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I should honorably mention the knife I'm inserting into your fucking cervix.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Anyway, those are my honorable mentions.
Asshole.
Okay. Should I start?
No.
I'm gonna start.
Wyatt.
Number 7 on this list.
Shut up. Simon, what's number 7? I fucking hate you. I hate you so much. Simon, what's number 7?
I'm not playing Chris. My number 7 is a moment that I relived in the process of editing my edit together.
Rorschach drowning the little guy in Watchmen.
The scene in Mean Creek where Josh Peck fucking dies. That's my 7th favorite Bryan Danielson.
You're a fucking lying son of a bitch, Sam.
You know that? Shut the fuck up, Clyde! It is his PWG title win at PWG Garrett Sans Frontiers from when he defeated Chris Hero. This was Chris Hero when he was among the greatest goddamn wrestlers on planet Earth back in like the late 2000s when he was doing shit with Eddie Kingston and Claudia, when he was still Kings of Wrestling, Chris Hero, all that shit. This is when Chris Hero was on the same level as Joe and Punk and Brian and Nigel and all of them, as one of the best independent wrestlers in the world. This was in 2009. This was just before Brian had jumped ship to go to WWE. This was a few months before that would happen. First of all, this match, it is 43 minutes and it is fucking amazing. Him and Hero is absolutely fantastic. The show has a very unique aesthetic going on. It's got different lighting. It just looks dope as shit. This was also when Hero was holding the PWG title for ages and nobody could beat him, and he was on the run of a lifetime. Not only is the match great, this is a match everybody thought Brian was going to lose because he was on his way out of the independent scene. And then Brian wins, and it's one of the loudest pops I have ever heard in a PWG show in my life. And I just wanted to shout out because it's a very underrated Brian moment, a very underrated Brian match, in my opinion. I don't think many people talk about it. They talk about his greatest matches of all time. I think it's better than the first time he wins the ROH World title. I think it's about on par in terms of match quality with the John Cena SummerSlam match, which is one of my favorite WWE matches of all time. I think that match is fucking amazing as well. I wanted to shout it out. And it's just, and PWG, classic PWG was a special moment in time. So I wanted to shout out that moment in time. So I'm going
Better
back.
than it is now.
It's still good, but it's not what it was. I don't think PWG is quite where it was a few years ago.
Good number 7.
Yeah, number 7 is PWG title win.
Mine. Now this is important right here because right around when I first started watching wrestling, this was the first thing I saw. That is Bryan Danielson choking out Justin Roberts with his tie when the Nexus debuted. Dude,
I love that.
I know.
I kind of love it.
No,
This-
I know.
No, shut up.
No.
Shut the fuck up. You put this over his win at Mania.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I let you against the grain like Bobby Roode. Time to go against the grain.
All right, bro.
Anyway, no, I think this is awesome, man. This is like the funniest fucking thing that Brian could have ever done on his debut. Is choke out Justin Roberts with his own tie and get fired for it.
Kind of beast. Kind of beast.
Funny.
Imagine if they never rehired him and he just went back to the Indies after that.
I was thinking, can you imagine being an ROH Danielson fan back then, seeing that, and then being like, oh wait, they fired him for that?
I hate W. Dude, people were pissed. That was like one of the first big like 2010s backlashes.
Dude, that was fucked up,
Brian
man.
getting fired. I remember that. Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happened today?
Dude, imagine if it happened in AEW. He says, let's fucking go. He says, let's fucking go after the show, and Tony Khan fires him.
No, this was awesome. Like I said, one of the first angles I remember watching in professional wrestling, so that's why it has a deep place there in the old heart ski. And yeah, Bryan Danielson's fucking cool, man. Even though he was Daniel Bryan around this time. Yeah, that's my number 7.
You know what? I don't hate it. It's part of the Nexus debut angle, which was awesome, genuinely. So I give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't I, Cass?
I picked one of the most underrated Mania matches. I picked Daniel Bryan versus Edge versus Roman Reigns as my number 7.
I have not watched this in ages, and I completely forgot that it was like a huge.
I wasn't going to put it on the list because I thought that Daniel Bryan would be the least important factor from this match. But if you watch promos, and especially after, because the week next is when Bryan challenges and loses, and then that's when he leaves WWE.
Yep.
This match is so good. It is so fucking good.
It's fucking awesome.
I had to rewatch the whole thing. I was gonna skim through it. I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch the whole thing. Brian,
rewatch this.
Brian is at his fucking peak. I reckon Brian is at his peak when he's old like this and he's in the AW doing all this shit. So this is the perfect time piece for Brian, in my opinion.
This was cool because we kind of gauge he was on his way out by this point. I think, right?
I knew he was leaving,
and we're just it's so cool that he's getting one final Mania main event. That's what I thought was badass.
I thought it was so cool that the main event was a triple threat again. That's sick.
Yeah. It added feasible doubt that he could have won because they made it a triple threat.
And it was cool to put him with Edge too, who also almost retired.
Also,
and that was a match we never got. We never really got
I love
that
shitty fucking Kyle O'Reilly hair, Brian.
Oh, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah,
in the Seattle Seahawks colors, the blue and green.
The blue and the green, yeah. I love Brian.
I'd say that's an honorable mention for me because it's a fucking awesome match. You want to talk, dude, especially at a time when wrestling was unwatchable in WWE because of the Thunderdome. That build for Roman, Bryan, and Edge is amazing, and the match actually paid off on the build. Honestly,
SmackDown was good during the Thunderdome era. I thought.
Except for like, Bianca and Sasha were feuding over fucking Reggie, and that was terrible. But
Oh, and the whole Aleister Black thing that pissed me the fuck off. Oh my
no, that was after Mania. They really brought him back. 2 segments, fired. That's
fucking unbelievable.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah.
And my other thing is
Yeah.
because I guess Brian said that he wishes he wasn't in that match, which is wild because he's great in it, and that match is awesome. So I don't know why.
Brian, he's all about like the fucking like, oh, I don't want to take away the spotlight. I lied.
And this is after he wins that elimination chamber and has to wrestle Roman immediately after.
Awesome.
I forgot that was him.
That
I
shit's
forgot about
so
that
cool.
completely.
Dude,
I
and
thought that was
the
Cesaro for some reason.
Dude, the Fastlane one-on-one match with Brian and Roman that goes like 30 minutes. That match is fucking awesome too. That match is incredible, genuinely.
Cesaro was Backlash. What?
Yeah, Backlash, right?
Another great match.
Oh, sorry,
Another great-
WrestleMania Backlash.
Thank you. Get it fucking right, asshole.
Anyway,
That
yeah,
match
there you
fucking
go.
rules. Cesaro and Roman. It's a
Yeah.
great match.
Anyway, yeah,
Okay,
number 6.
my number 6 is one of my favorite Monday Night Raw segments of all time, and it was in the lead up to WrestleMania 30. And I remember watching it live, and even my dad, who didn't love wrestling that much at the time, thought it was the coolest shit ever. It was Occupy Raw, baby. That's my number
Hey.
6.
Guess what?
Is that your number
I'm
6?
Number 6 too.
Yeah. Is that your number
See, 'cause
6?
here's the thing.
Wait,
Here's
is
the
that-
thing. Here's two.
Wait.
It's his number 6.
Oh, it's my number 6, baby.
Yeah, we did a triple.
Now, let's talk about this, man, full on. Because holy shit, man. I'm putting this over the Mania match because I think this is way more of a cool moment. I think this is like a legendary television moment, I thought. Like, just seeing, like, because it was, like, truly the epitome of the everyman. Like, having that big moment, everything. It's like it is like a fucking, what's it called? Like a Norman Rockwell painting, almost. It's like that type of shit, man. That's the vibe
Kinda
it gives
like-
off.
It's so unique. It's such a unique way for a babyface to like actually, and it works because the connection with Brian was genuine. It wasn't forced. It wasn't like a Hogan or a Roman or a Cena. It was genuinely like everybody just fucking loved him. And even though you could tell a lot of those people there were probably plants, like you can probably tell that.
Yeah, they were all actors.
Yeah. It felt way more genuine than it should have, and I just really appreciated that. And it's just dude. And shouts out, honestly, Triple H and Stephanie. Their acting in that segment is fantastic. When they are just losing their shit and they're getting
Dude, yeah,
so
Triple H getting
angry.
held back and shit. Oh my god.
You get your deal. Oh, it's so good.
They're
Brian-
Brian,
too
the
about
biggest troll of all time. He's just sitting on top of the thing like,
Why are
I
you
did
throwing a
this.
fit, Hunter? Why are you throwing a fit?
I did this.
Dude,
I
Oh,
love
man.
Triple H and that whole like because I remember like when he before the Cena match, he was like, I like Daniel Bryan. Fuck you, Vince McMahon. And then it's revealed, oh no, Triple H actually also agreed that Daniel Bryan sucks. It's like that was like such a betrayal and shit, and like seeing that moment being like the big like, oh man, like fuck WWE.
we finally got like, dude, early Authority was not that bad. Everything after WrestleMania
When they started
30,
opening every single show, every single Raw was an
listen,
Authority.
if the Authority had ended after Team Cena, Team Authority, I don't think the angle would be hated as much because that's a great end to that, and then they literally undo it in less than 2 months afterwards. It's fucking terrible.
I bring back the Authority. Fucking Seth.
Anyway, I want to do number 5.
Okay.
Brian cashes in on the Big Show
That's
to
a
win
great
the World
pick.
Heavyweight title.
Excellent
Because he looks
choice.
fucking funny with his buzz cut head. And it's even funnier that he cashes in on this dude, the Big Show.
Man. And then Big Show's reaction afterwards is going like,
Because Big Show kicks out 3, which is even funnier.
He didn't sell for Brian. He was like, nah, fuck that.
Like Brian pins him, and then Big Show kind of like rolls like too late, and then he like fucking grabs him and is like, yeah. Dude,
Great
Brian
moment.
Brian
What an
could
awful
win
main
a
event
title
scene.
at any point in his life, and it would have popped me huge. Like Brian is the dude.
I just want to refute why it's claimed there. Actually, Mark Henry Hall of Pain got like some of the.
Oh no,
Big
that was
Show's-
great. It was just the Big Show Brian stuff. I'm like, this is a little
I will
dumb.
say, I think Brian got some of shows like better matches. Like they had like this no holds barred match on an episode of SmackDown once. So it was actually pretty solid. It was the one where Big Show fucking murdered AJ Lee and when he ran into her.
And he hits the face where he goes like,
You are a bastard. Okay, that's a great shout, though. That's a great shout. It's awesome. Awesome.
it's a great moment. Yeah, people sleep on that moment. Like that's his first world title in WWE. That was
The crowd
Those
goes
cash-ins.
The crowd goes ballistic for it as well when it happens.
dude, and they gave him a pretty like long reign with that belt too.
It's a shame how it ended, but you know, other than
Shameful
that-
It's a shame. A shame.
Sham wow.
I give it the fuck. Anyway, what are we on? Number 5?
Number five.
Number 5. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dead ass with y'all right here.
You don't have a list.
Bryan Danielson's return to WWE.
Oh, like the injury,
dude. Because here's the thing. Yes, the injury. So here's the thing, man. I remember
Daniel Bryan.
Royal Rumble 2018. There was this weird thing in the betting odds. Bryan
I remember this!
Into like top 3 picks for the Rumble. It was huge. Like I don't know. Like we was like, the fuck is this? Like is he actually doing this? Nothing ended up happening. We still had a great Royal Rumble though that year.
That's one of the best
We get
ever.
news on the morning of SmackDown, I believe it was, the following week, or maybe been like a couple
No,
weeks.
it was. I remember it was March. It was March. I remember
March,
it.
yeah. So it was
out
getting
of
into
nowhere.
We got the news
Literally out of
from,
nowhere.
I think it was WWE, right? It was WWE, like, reporting.
Yeah,
this,
they
like,
said, hey,
breaking. Daniel
he can
Bryan
do
has been
something
medically
now.
cleared to wrestle, and I remember literally, like, dropping to my knees. I'm looking at my phone, I'm just like, no way. Like, holy shit. Like, I could not believe that was happening. I couldn't fucking believe it.
And that was,
I was
like
so
the
happy.
midst. That was the midst of the awful Shane Owens Sammy when that storyline just like got so bad. When they booked Owens versus Zayn 1-on-1 for WrestleMania the week before. I don't know if you guys remember that. They booked that match.
What?
They booked Owens versus Zayn as like a WrestleMania match like a week before.
don't remember that.
And then I think Bryan got cleared and they just completely uprooted and changed it to the tag match because they realized because they had
Look
Owens.
at that, Kevin. It's the police.
It's the police. I love that. That's one of my favorite Sami Zayn fucking. Dude, this shit, man. And his promo with the infamous, like, usually a lot of promos like this can get kind of corny when he says, like, fight for your dreams, but it's what followed that. Fight for your dreams, and your dreams will fight for you. That's what I loved right there.
Such
Like, that was such a cool moment. And then seeing him, like, I remember at this time, it still didn't feel real to me, so I'm like, okay, they're gonna do like a tag. I think it's probably not gonna take too many bumps. It's probably gonna be like a brief part-time run, probably. Kevin and Sammy fucking murder this dude.
Night one!
Dude.
They kill this man!
Unbelievable. Unfucking real, man. And I'll be honest, man, this Mania, not the best Mania, had a pretty solid first half, horrible second half.
Yeah.
But man, dude, seeing Bryan in that ring again, seeing that entrance, seeing the yes chants and everything, seeing him have that big moment again, seeing him still being able to do the diving headbutt and everything, him not losing a single fucking step, nothing like it, man.
Special
Unbelievable.
moment.
The only thing that could have topped that is on the whole back half of his career, which I'm going to be talking about after that. So,
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah. He got the WWE. He got the Fed out of the way. He got the Fed out
Oh,
of the
there's some
way.
stuff in here, don't you worry.
Okay.
Anyway, what is your...
My number
Let us know
5.
your thoughts.
thoughts. I'm not gonna make the joke this time. I do it every single time we mention Campia. So this I'm actually Joker's trick because this isn't technically a Daniel Bryan moment, but it is a moment that is special not just because of the person it involved, but because Daniel Bryan's involvement in the angle was absolutely fantastic and added so much to it. My number 5 is Kofi Mania because it fucking counts. I don't really care. It's technically not a Daniel Bryan moment. That's why it's not higher. But the looping back to Daniel Bryan becoming everything that he hated, becoming the fucking corporate shill that he despised. Although I will say, there's this promo that's on the WWE YouTube account it happens right before WrestleMania 35, where he breaks down his motivation for the whole thing. That's not just corporate Bryant. And he talks about, it was like, they call me a B+ player. I had an A+ mentality. I don't give a crap what the big office said. Kofi Kingston does not have the A+ mentality. He didn't go kicking down doors for title shots. He went begging for gauntlet matches. He didn't go doing
WWE does that a lot, where they have like amazing promos like that, but they don't make them like canon necessarily. Like they're not like part of the show or the build.
Like, remember when Gable lost to Gunther and after making his daughter cry, like Gable said, I'll come back for you eventually, and then they just never ended up looping back to it, even though it was a great promo. Really shameful.
Do you remember the?
But yeah, this is a fantastic. Like the cage.
Do you remember fucking Brian going up to Buddy Murphy and being like,
"Yeah, funniest shit ever." That feud is fucking stupid,
dude. It doesn't make any sense,
dude. That whole thing. I just want to sorry, real quick. That whole because remember we heard SummerSlam that day. There was a big segment that we're gonna do that was involving Bryan and Roman.
Nothing happened.
Like, oh man, what's it gonna be? Like, is it gonna be this crazy blood spa where they're gonna be like beating the shit out of each other? Someone dies. Nothing happened. And we got a pretty good tag match out of it, even though it was a very weird rivalry that really had no basis when you think about it.
Luke Harper showed up for some reason. It was Eric Rowan who
turned heel, I think.
Also, but he was already heel, so it didn't really work as well as people wanted it to. Brian and Roman versus Rowan and
that was a good match though.
Is a really fucking solid match. But
anyway, enough of that bullshit.
Kofi Mania, great moment. Only reason it's not higher is because it's more of a Kofi moment than a Daniel Bryan moment. So yeah. Okay, number 4. I want to start number 4.
It's how real it is to The Rock.
It's how real it is to The Rock.
Wyatt's left titty.
All right.
Number 4.
Oh, my start,
man.
Am I going?
Get with it. Number 4
okay.
on your titty.
4
on your titty.
Because he's got
number 4. That's how real it is to The Rock.
I got a question.
So,
where are my parents?
Where are my pants?
Where are my pants?
My number 4, if I may.
No.
Okay.
This sucks. Go on. Just
all right. My number 4 is sort of tying in with Simon's, and that is Daniel Bryan's heel turn.
Okay, I got you.
Dude,
the heel turn.
I remember this day because there was some weird again. A day where we had just a lot of weird rumors saying apparently the main event was changed for Survivor Series. It was going to be not Jinder Mahal. It was going to be AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar again for the second year in a row. And they were just weird. And then there was this weird report that oh yeah, apparently there's supposed to be a WWE title match tonight that they're going to announce because Bryan and AJ had this weird kind of butting of heads around this time.
Yeah.
It was very weird. It was just kind of out of nowhere, but it was kind of cool though, because it's just oh, these guys just kind of hate each other for
they're just not happy. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not. It was very cool. It's frustration building. And then Shane just goes, you know what? You two tonight, and it's for the title. And I'm just oh no, they're actually going to do this. These sons of bitches are actually going to do this. And then I just expected him to win the title.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to win the title. Absolutely. I'm oh cool, we're going to have this cool moment where he wins the WWE title again. Awesome.
Oh man, I remember this.
When the referee's distracted and he kicks fucking AJ Styles in the balls, and he has that look on his face, and he does the fucking
he's what did I just do? And he's going.
He does the fucking, and he hits the fucking bukkake knee. Is that what it's called? No, Busaiku knee. Sorry, Pulse is ruined my vocabulary. Sorry.
It was just the running knee plus.
The running knee plus. Yeah,
the knee plus.
He hits that, wins the title, and he has that look, that devious look, and I'm just
fucking he's just holding the title.
Yeah, just
oh my god.
Yeah,
and then he starts stomping AJ after the bell rings as well.
He hits the fucking violence party on him. I'm oh my god, dude. Dude, I could not believe that they did this because I'm thinking it made so much sense because we already had the big Bryan babyface title win. We've never seen this. I mean, maybe we've seen this with his original heel turn back in the day, but this was something different, man. And I want to briefly touch on too this whole run. Probably better than the Yes movement, in my opinion. I think this was. Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I know this is a very me thing, and that's fine. Y'all can think what you want. It's fine. I thought that this right here, this character that he made from nothing, pretty much. I thought this was cool as fuck because he had this weird Kurt Cobain vibe to him, where he was wearing the cardigan every week. He was wearing the jeans, talking about, and then he started talking about like climate change, talking about like this company sucks. Fucking all the concessions right here. All these people are
He's
fucking
right.
eating garbage. These people are eating
Fickle.
garbage that pollutes the
Fickle.
climate, like this and that. Yeah, fickle.
Fickle.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when he first starts that thing, but he goes, fickle. Fickle. And he starts like
So
laughing
hard.
and everything. Yeah, it's like,
Because they're
oh my God.
they're what chatting him. So he's like, Fickle.
It's like, see,
What?
listen to the sheep. Look
Fickle.
at them. Look at
What?
this. It's just- and then, of course, we lead into the thing is too. This heel turn happened right before Survivor Series, and we're just like, wait a minute. And then we're just like watching Survivor Series. We're watching him enter the ring, and we're like, what are they doing here? Because I thought this was at the time when he didn't want to go to Saudi, and we thought
Yay.
this was a punishment for him.
Like,
Because I thought this was going to be a total squash match. I was really worried.
I'm gonna stop you right there
Yep.
because we might see it later.
Okay. We're not gonna talk about
okay.
that then. But yes, that is my number. That is my fucking number 4.
It's a good. It's not a bad choice. It's not a
You
bad.
want my number 4, pussy?
Yeah,
Oh,
bitch,
dear.
whore, cunt.
Daniel Bryan wins the WWE title at WrestleMania 30.
What?
That's oh my yeah! I love this guy.
Yes.
I love this guy. He did.
That's my number 4.
I am number 4.
There's nothing wrong with this moment. There's nothing wrong with this match. There's nothing wrong with the
No, not at all.
storyline. Bryan
this show.
was the most over man in wrestling.
Oh, Morty.
Him
Sorry.
besting Triple H in the first match and then going on to win the Triple Threat is one of the greatest stories ever told in wrestling.
Oh yes.
That moment where he hits the knee on Batista and then you have Michael Cole fucking creaming his
Batista.
jeans. It is one of the best calls in wrestling history. Okay, come on, Daniel! Come on, Daniel!
Come on, Daniel. Yes, lock. Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian.
So, A Miracle on Bourbon Street, all that shit, man. It's such a special moment. It sucks because I wasn't watching wrestling at this time. So, like, going back and, like, reliving what everyone else
Yeah,
is
even
feeling,
me,
it's
because
like,
I tapped
damn,
out
man.
around this time, but I saw this storyline happening, and that's another reason why it's not
Yeah.
wasn't really on my list, because I wasn't watching around this time, and I'm kind of pissy I didn't, because I would have really loved the storyline. I think it would have gotten me back into wrestling. But the problem is, I just hated the entire undercard around this time. Like
Yeah.
that's my big problem, because like, man, dude, everything around this time was just garbage. I mean, aside from the Shield, like Shield had their babyface run, which I did like a lot. But just, man, nothing else was like, who was it? Fucking
Also-
Usos and
whoa.
New Age Outlaws were feuding. I was like, what the fuck are we
Usos and
doing,
Harper
man?
and Rowan had some good tag title match. They had They had a 2 or 3 falls match that was fucking
That's true.
fantastic. That had a fucking great match there.
Shouts out Brian for taking a fucking Batista bomb RKO.
Dude,
That was disgusting. Like,
I feel bad
fucking
for
Orton,
Randy,
dude.
Yeah,
Dude, he
Orton
kept
on
that
the monitor?
Oh, my God,
he cuts his back up on it. I think that's what fucked up Randy's back. I still think that's what
I said
fucked
this
up Randy.
before too. I think that was when WWE said, "Why don't we just switch to tablets instead of whole monitors?" Because I think
Because
that's when
that-
they did the switch.
No, dude. I think they stopped doing I think they stopped doing monitors when Rusev stole one of the monitors the one time and he called himself the TV champion, which is one of the greatest tweets in wrestling history.
Forgot about that.
It's so good.
That was genius.
Yeah,
Oh my
at the
God.
Royal Rumble 2016, the one where Roman was defending the title
TV
in the Rumble, when the League of Nations comes out and beats the shit out of Roman, they put him to the announcers table. Rusev just picks up a TV monitor.
yeah,
He
when
walks to the
Rusev
back and says, and then he tweets out, and then he tweets out later, "I am new television champion."
I remember that spot because he takes a run up and
Just
just
love
fucking
Rusev,
loads
dude.
it. Oh man,
The TV
that's
champion.
amazing. Anyway, yeah, I had to put on this somewhere.
Yeah, great shit.
Which is so
great shit.
valid.
Simon,
Okay. Now,
four.
Speak into the mic, bitch.
Audio podcast. Say something.
my number 4 is another Joker's trick because it's not just a match, it's not just a moment, it's an entire feud, baby, because it defined a promotion for the better part of 4 to 5 years. Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness in Ring of Honor. Oh, baby. Yeah.
I think we're abusing the Joker's trick. I think it's just.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore.
This is my last one. This is my last one for the rest of the video. I'm not
You're
doing
retiring the
any more
bit
after this.
completely after this. Yeah.
If I'm being totally honest, it's not technically a Joker's trick because if I had to pick one moment that I love the most from this, it is the unified championship match that happened in the fucking UK Nigel McGuinness was pure champion. Bryan Danielson was world champion. They had 2 matches before this, or maybe it might have been 3, that had ended in like indecisive, shitty fashion every single time. And this was the one-on-one match to unify both the pure championship and the Ring of Honor World Championship in Nigel's home turf. Nigel started this feud off as a heel. He had basically turned babyface by this point. Bryan, who was the babyface, was playing heel for this in the UK. It's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my life, honestly. This is the match with the spot where Bryan grabs Nigel's hands and he yanks him into the turnbuckle post and he concusses him and cuts him open hard way.
I've never seen this match.
You absolutely should watch this match.
Why?
If you're not going to watch any of the Nigel Bryan, if you're not going to watch all the Nigel Bryan matches, you should watch this match because I think it's their best match, honestly. You should watch all their matches, though, because they're all equally fantastic. What else can I say about it? I already talked about Nigel, his influence a little while back. This feud is just absolutely spectacular. It's so many layers of storytelling, so many like turns and different points in it, all about being the best in the world. These two had some of the greatest chemistry I've ever seen in professional wrestlers. Like legit, like, you know, you think of wrestlers that have fantastic chemistry. Like I'm thinking like Rock and Austin. I'm thinking Cena and Punk. I'm thinking honestly like Roman and Cody even in recent years. Kenny and Hangman. Think of
Barrett
a lot of
Norton. Riley and the Miz.
Shut the fuck up. Zayn and Owen.
Titus O'Neil and
Me and my penis.
Yeah, that's real. Actually, that's real.
He doesn't like me.
But yeah, I am giving it. I'm
What
giving
was
it.
that?
I don't know. That's my moment. I'm going with the Nigel. I can't because you guys are doing stupid bits, and I can't talk. You and your fucking Shrek 3D glasses.
This is the happiest seizure of my life.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, Nigel feud / unified title match where Bryan wins and he unifies the belts. That's
Hell yeah,
that's
man.
that's my number
pretty
4.
good.
That's my
And now.
Or
All
number 3.
Oh
right.
no. Oh no.
Number 3.
Should I just go straight into number 3? Should I go
No.
straight into number 3?
If you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Number 3. Bryan Danielson debuts in AEW at All Out 2021. That's my number 3.
You asshole.
Is it number 3? Yeah!
It's not number 3. Mine's not.
I lied.
God damn it.
Either.
God damn.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
well. Okay, well. Seeing as this is clearly going to come up later, I'm not going to say much on it because I feel like everybody's going to say a whole lot about it.
Why? That's so annoying.
I didn't
Just
think this
go
would.
like
I
that.
didn't
What
think
the
this would
fuck?
happen until it actually happened.
thought
And
this
then when
would
it
happen.
happened, when Adam Cole came out,
this would happen.
I work with toddlers. Like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're just realizing this now?
Spoon.
When Adam Cole came out, I did not think that Bryan was going to come out. When Bryan came out, it was one of the biggest pops of my life. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to faint. I went fucking ballistic when he came out. He comes out, he beats the fuck out of the Elite, and then he begins arguably the greatest run of his entire career, the last 3 years of his career, honestly.
Amen.
I wanted to just cheat and say the AEW run, but that is cheating. There's so many
It is
AEW
cheating.
moments.
There's too many good parts of it. That's the problem.
There's you know, like I was going to mention like him and MJF Iron Man match when it looked like he was going to win the title the first time when he fucking kneed MJF and everybody thought it was
Real quick.
over.
Real
Yeah.
quick about that. I don't know if that's going to come up later, but when he starts doing the yes chants in that match, next level. Unbelievable.
That's arguably, I still think that might be the greatest AEW pay-per-view main event of all time. Him and MJF in the Iron Man match. That match is fucking amazing. Well, there's one other contender, but we'll get to that later.
Anyway.
Yeah, AEW debut, perfect moment.
Cool.
Yeah,
Mine. This is where we're in the AEW portion of his career.
let's go.
It is not this, but it is his debut match in AEW against Kenny Omega.
Oh,
This,
okay,
dude. This match came at the best time. This match came at the perfect time in life.
Yep.
Because man, dude, I remember when I was house sitting at this time, I was by myself, and I'm just thinking like, holy shit, this match is tonight. Like, holy fuck. I was thinking like, cause I wasn't really going through a great time in my life around this time, and I saw this, and I was like, dude, like we're getting the fact that it opened the show. When it opened the show, and we saw these guys, and we hear that bell ring, and JR's like, yeah, let's get after this thing, and you hear this crowd just on their feet, like just this is like the hypest I've seen a crowd in forever, I think. Like this was unbelievable.
It was literally just like a bell ring, and the crowd just like.
Perfect
Like this is literally like a
parallels
classic all-time wrestling moment in my opinion.
Perfect
Like,
parallels of Kenny being like, "You ain't beating me," just staring at him the whole time.
oh yeah, just
Brian
staring him
laughing,
dead in the
like
eye.
looking around.
This was when
And
Kenny
having
was on
them
that generational world title run as well. Like, fucking.
And them going to a draw.
Blue hair handlebars, Kenny.
So
Them going to a draw was probably the best decision too, because I literally couldn't choose who I wanted to win this. Literally couldn't do it.
you could have gotten away with either winning, and it probably would have been fine. But still, like, and dude, I know Brian's winding down. They gotta run it back. We need a definitive winner at some point.
I
in the
need
next few
one
years.
more, man. I'm need you to give me one more day. Not asking for a month, not asking for
One
more day.
One more day.
one more day.
Absolutely.
No, unbelievable moment, man. I love this moment. It's when AEW finally gets that fucking Max partnership and has the entire archive on Max. I just want to watch that moment forever and ever. Just, I want to watch these old AEWs back in like
AEW is
20
the
wanna
kind
watch
of company that needs like a database.
They need an accessible hub to like all their shit.
Like, where
There's
is it?
There's so many people
I-
I want to watch. There's so many Dynamites I want to watch that I don't want to
can't
watch on a
use. I
fucking
can't use
laptop.
watch wrestling. What? I can't use watch wrestling anymore. I can't do it. Please, just give me.
There's always a way
Dude.
to watch wrestling.
Anyway,
AE.
that is my number 3. Okay.
If I had a nickel for every time Brian Danielson had a 5-star time limit draw in the year 2021, I would have 2 nickels, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because
which is it's weird that happened twice. My number 3 is the best Brock Lesnar match of all time.
that's a good match right here.
Lesnar versus Bryan, Survivor Series 2018.
This match is fucking.
This match is
so good.
unbelievable.
This is such a
Dude.
fucking.
What starts
great-
off as a clear squash match, when he hits this German, okay, he hits these Germans that look fucking disgusting. First of all, Brian's
Yep.
like landing on the back of his neck. He hits that one German, Brian flips out of it, and then the shenanigans with the ref happen. That first low blow is one of the most like jolting moments ever. It's like Jesus Christ!
Lesnar takes it and he just is like he's like fucking wailing in pain after that. It's just
He's like
Dude,
scattering around the ring,
shit.
flipping his feet and shit. I'm like, oh my god.
Would I be wrong to say this is probably top 10 WWE main events ever?
no, you're right. You're right.
It's not the
Genuinely,
main
honestly. Yes, it
I thought
was.
it was
the
the
main
main
event? Was
It was the main
Yeah,
event.
yeah,
Yes,
it
it
did.
was. Yep, it was.
It was 100% the main event. What did you think
This
it was?
is when they
what
were
did you
doing the
think
title for title thing. They were going yacht for yacht, going Riz for Riz, you know? Sorry.
Brian, what the fuck? Brian
Anyway.
was really, really good in this match. Like the moment he gets like the upper hand, that knee that he hits on Lesnar
That
is
near
so
fall
good.
is fucking
That whole
ridiculous,
shot of
dude.
him like backing up and then pushing the ref out of the way and shit. I'm like, oh my god.
And then
And then
the
when he hits
second
the
half of
running
this,
knee on the apron, oh my god.
the second half of this match is just Brian making Brock Lesnar pay for all of his life choices, just kicking the living shit out of Brock for like 8 minutes. It's disgusting.
Oh,
Like,
that's what
and
it was.
Brian's
He
selling,
went for
too.
the F5 and he like hit the ref. That's what it was.
And he kicks him in the
Yeah.
balls too. He goes, oh, there it is, there
kicks
it
to
is.
the ball. And then he's hampering the leg of Brock. He's like swinging Brock's leg into the ring post, and Brock is like falling out of the ring
Michael
whenever
Cole
he gets hit.
erupts, by the way. He goes like, oh, another F5. Oh, it's a bit shenanigans. Low blow! Brian Lesnar's down! I'm like, oh my god!
And dude, Brock catches Brian. The leg gives out into the fucking yes lock, and everybody and their mother thinks Brock Lesnar's about to tap out to Daniel Bryan.
He teases it as well. Like, he knows
he's
Brian's
like-
the guy.
He's like hand is like right there, like it's like right up
Oh,
to his face.
man.
God, it's
And then he starts
Unbelievable,
fucking
man.
beating him down and shit. Oh, man.
This is, like I said, man, this is the reason why I think that whole run in WWE rivals is the yes movement.
He is good. He is good as
Like
the heel.
he is just so fucking good, dude. Like, he
this
can
and the
make
Kofi
anything
match
fucking
are
work.
equal to the best yes movement stuff. Like both of those moments are fucking like all timer. So like
Anyway, yeah, that's my own 3.
that's so valid.
Wyatt,
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2. Wants to do number 2.
Because we already talked about this. We're bringing it back. Bryan Danielson's AEW debut, baby.
Let's go!
So, All Out 2021. One of the great pay-per-views ever. One of the all-time
God,
greats.
one of the best. Still one
Not
of the best.
necessarily
AEW shows.
the most memorable matches, but the most stakes that AEW has had ever.
God, the vibe.
Also, by the way, Kingston versus Miro for the TNT belt. Awesome match, by the way.
Kingston
Wanna make
versus
that
Miro, dude. Bucks Bros cage match.
Bucks and Lucha Bros cage match, amazing.
God.
That was
The debut of CM Punk.
That was
in
Moxley
AEW.
and Kojima, and then fucking
Minoru Suzuki came out.
Came out, yep. We
And that
had
was Ruby
CM Punk's
Soho debuting.
That's also
CM
true.
Punk's debut.
That was
man.
CM Punk's first match.
which was he had the long
and then
boys
it was
out. It
Kenny
was
and
crazy.
Christian.
Kenny and Christian, dude, Christian Cage main eventing a pay-per-view. I was so fucking happy, man. This is when that era where I'm just like on cloud nine. I love AEW. I love
Christian
AEW.
I just love AEW.
One ringed angel.
And man, dude, the pay-per-view ends. Adam Cole shows up. I'm like, fuck me, man. I'm just like,
This is
we're doing
crazy.
this. And I think it's over right there. And he's like, I bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night.
Oh
And I'm
my
just, me and Dan are literally just like looking at each other, like we're in shock. We're just like mouth agape. And then when he comes out with the Booty Pop remix, when he comes through that tunnel, it's a fucking generational moment.
For the love of God, it's Bryan Danielson. Oh,
Nothing. It's hard to top, man. That feeling that night was unbelievable. It's one of the greatest feelings
That
ever.
solidified AEW as a proper competition.
They literally said like this is like what they say. This is the home of professional wrestling or something. At the end, it was like
and the show ends with Bryan on the turnbuckle and the camera like zooming at him.
2021 AEW is probably the most legendary thing ever. Like there is nothing. It's never going to be topped, sadly. But, like,
From the Punk debut to the end of that year, it is just nonstop.
dude, this
Like,
is we were coming out of COVID, dude, and this was such a moment, man. This whole year because AEW was the first wrestling promotion to really bring back fans, really help integrate them back in.
Yeah.
Slow process. We had Double or Nothing, which was unbelievable, seeing the fans back and everything. And then just going on this complete tear, like, yeah, we got the fans back. We're gonna give you everything you want. We're literally gonna give you fucking everything.
Everything
We're
you
giving
want. This all
Hangman
led-
Kenny. We're giving you Christian Cage. We're giving you fucking Rampage. All this fucking shit, man.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Can you guys give me 1 second? I gotta go feed the cats real quick. I'm sorry. They're scratching
you,
the
man.
fuck out of the door. I'm sorry. Just give me like 1 second.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to Cass and Wyatt Talk. Cass, how you doing, man?
They took the fucking children, man.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. You know what's funny? That happened to me once. Except they took them from the basement. You were supposed to lean up and do a fucking.
Wait, why? You know exactly what to put over this. Wait.
There you go. If I have anything to talk about, well, I mean, my wife misses me.
Your wife misses, get it?
That was good. You're funny, man. You're good.
you're
Very
funny,
good.
man.
You
Anyway,
went to
guys,
comedy school.
Yes, I did. Hey, I'm
You should get money back. You're shit.
Yay! Anyway, guys, we're gonna talk about our favorite, specifically NXT Daniel Bryan moments.
When he
your favorite moment?
shits himself. I
I
don't
like when
know.
the Bellas walked in on him making out with Gail Kim, and they were like,
I like when he was talking about bears on Saturday Morning Slam.
"That was funny. That was real funny."
What's the worst Daniel Bryan moment?
A worst Daniel Bryan moment. Ooh, I'm gonna go with.
Him getting eliminated from the Rumble.
Oh, that was awful.
That was so bad.
That was awful.
Or him not even being in the previous Rumble.
That was fucking awful too. Holy shit!
Like when Ray comes out and the crowd just gives up with that pay-per-view.
It's so upsetting, man.
People start leaving and shit. Oh
It
man.
was no one's fault except management too. That's the thing. It wasn't Ray's fault. It wasn't Roman's fault. I felt bad for everyone involved in that whole thing.
Ray, bro.
It was so awful.
Bro had surgery 5 times his left knee.
Yeah, man. But
I'm
I think-
sorry,
I
my
think that's why-
brothers-
That's why Ted DiBiase Jr. I think is actually one of like the better talents WWE made because of just that whole run was legendary, man. Like I said, you know, yeah.
With Maurice? Yeah, this
Yeah.
was yeah.
Wow.
That song fucking rules. That song goes crew bumping that shit.
Dude, I'd be fucking taking the ecstasy in the club. It's over, man. Anyway.
Okay.
Number 2.
For me or Cass?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Yes, I mean you were late.
My ass.
Bryan Danielson wins the AEW World Championship in All in London.
What the fuck is number 1 if this is not number 1?
So Bryan winning the title finally in my hometown. I got to see it live. It might be one of my favorite AEW matches ever.
It's not number 1.
Him, I know you guys have got it at number 1, so I'm not gonna say much. All I will say is my favorite moment in this whole match is when he's on his knees. He's not looking at anyone except his daughter, and he's like, "I love you. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you." He's getting kicked, and then that moment where he snaps and he looks at Swerve.
I'm literally, dude, I'm
Unbelievable,
not joking.
man.
I'm like tearing up just talking about it. I'm serious.
I was going crazy. I was like, "Oh my god!"
That was the most emotionally.
It's the fact that the
resonant moment.
slap is so loud.
Boom! And then Swerve takes it and he slaps him again after that. And Swerve like bounces off the ropes. He's completely fucking rocked by
I'll be
it.
honest.
It's so good.
I had such a shit week before All In, and going into this pay-per-view, I was like, "Oh, I like Swerve. Like, I don't mind if Bryan, doesn't win this." Because and then they said, "Oh, his career's on the line." So I was like, "Oh shit."
That's when I was like, no.
So then that promo happens where he says, "I'm the best fucking wrestler in the world," and I was like, "This is about to be the best main event of all time." It actually might be. For me.
I think it's. Well, we'll talk later. Spoiler alert. You're gonna hear it again.
I really loved it. Great way to end a pay-per-view. A fucking stellar pay-per-view, by the way.
Great show.
Bryan being champion makes me so happy. Can't wait for him to beat.
I'll be honest.
Perry.
I'm not like crapping on last year's All In, but you could tell last year they did All In. They were like, we have the attendance. We don't need to try that hard with the match card. We don't really need to
They
go
were
that
a little
crazy.
bit more goofy with it.
Yeah, this one they were like, we're giving you fucking Ospreay hitting the fucking Tiger Driver in Wembley. We're giving you Pac his moment. We're giving you fucking the Mariah May Tony payoff. This was like the real. This was the real All In.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the real All In.
Anyway, yeah. So Simon, what's your number 2?
My number 2. I'm not even gonna do any fancy bones about it. My number 2 is Daniel Bryan wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania 30. It's my favorite. It was literally until this year my favorite WrestleMania ending of all time. I have a new favorite. Don't worry, Bryan's still in probably my favorite wrestling moment of all time. Spoiler alert for number 1. I want to give a shout out as well because we talk about the moment. The matches, especially like Daniel Bryan and Triple H. That is a fucking fantastic opener to WrestleMania. I'm serious. That match, people don't talk about that match enough. It might be Triple H's. Other than I know End of an Era is a little contentious with some people. Some people think End of an Era is boring. I think End of an Era is fantastic. This is arguably Triple H's best WrestleMania match. Honestly, like I don't think there's that much competition for that. This match is awesome. Just the entire way it's structured, the way the show was structured to fit Bryan's whole narrative. And the triple threat is great too. Shouts out Batista and Orton because they knew exactly what they had to do.
Shouts out Batista. Shouts out Batista.
Shouts out Batista. Genuinely. And the last
shout.
I'm not just calling it for the moment. The matchup, the last like 3-4 minutes of this match, they rope-a-dope you so many times into thinking that Bryan's going to lose. When he gets stretchered off, when he gets off the stretcher and he crawls back to the ring, Batista spears him in the fucking face, by the way. He literally running headbutts Bryan directly to the dome and then gets RKO'd by Orton. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. Batista kicks out.
It is absolutely insane when Bryan's out for a little bit. And this is obviously just before he hits the knee and wins. But when Batista's hitting that Batista bomb and it's just dead silent.
People are like
no one's
dreading
upset and everyone's just scared.
No, the biggest one, the biggest like shit your pants is when Orton's gonna go for the punt on Batista. Bryan knees Orton, and then Batista throws Bryan out of the ring and pins Orton. I really thought it was gonna end there. I was about to like break my I was about to break my television with that if that was the ending of WrestleMania. But everything was fine. Brian won. He celebrates. I think another thing that contributes, honestly, is the Connor the Crusher when he goes up to Connor in the front row and he talks to him. I think that's also like, holy shit, just a really powerful emotional moment, just given how much that meant for WWE and for Brian. I just love it, man. It was perfect. This is a great moment with great with great matches surrounding it on one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. So I had to give it this thing, and it's the second best time Bryan Danielson closed a wrestling pay-per-view as world champion. The second best time, in my opinion. Number one, I think Wyatt and I have the exact same number one.
I want to say my number one then.
Okay, you go first.
I want to hear this.
Bryan Danielson debuts All Out 20.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I can get with that. That's fair.
I just about shat my intestines out when this dude walked out.
Because Wyatt's bang on the money when he says, like, this is a perfect pay-per-view, and then that moment, right? So you have Adam Cole come out, who is the least likely of the two to appear.
He's
So if
only
he
just
comes
been out of
out-
NXT for like a week at this point. Like,
So
he's
you
just
have
left
the
week
shock
for-
factor of this after a stellar Kenny and Christian match. He then turns heel and joins the fucking thing. And then literally minutes later, you have Bryan Danielson come out. 2 Flight of the Valkyries. It's like booty popping. It's just, there's nothing like it. I think it's my favorite debut of all time. That entire ending is like an all-timer moment. And just seeing Brian outside of the WWE after so long is such an incredible sight for me.
Like, a lot of people had. I'm invoking his name. This is not me shitting on him. People talk about the Punk debut, and the Punk debut is spectacular. Don't get me wrong, it is. It's lovely. And even besides how I think it doesn't, it's kind of hard to watch it nowadays, given everything that happened.
Yeah.
That was like a pure, like, I'll believe it when I see it moment when Punk came out. That was like the first inkling of like where I was like, because for a while I was wishy-washy on AEW. The Punk debut was the first time for a while I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, they are legit. Like, this is the thing, right? And then Brian and Cole came out. That was when I'm standing up for All Elite Wrestling. I'm standing up for Tony Khan. I was literally.
I said this when we did the top 7 debuts in AEW because Punk was like 3 or 4 on my list.
Yeah.
I treat that as more of a Punk is back in wrestling, you know. Like Brian.
This moment's significance for AEW especially is a special moment. Like, honestly,
it's all timer. And
God.
Brian, like, I didn't really think it at the time. Because I always liked Brian, and you're the number one Brian cogmuncher, but like rightfully so. All right, bro. No,
I was doing I'm doing the shit that he does whenever he gets hyped. Like,
you didn't see that, bro. No.
Bro was literally jerking off 2 dicks. That's crazy.
The down bad.
No, he's doing the Trump dance where he goes like,
Yeah.
he's a fucking
I will not debut it all out.
Bryan Danielson. You see this here? You see Bryan Danielson?
He had the yes movement.
Yes movement invading Raw. Do you believe that, folks? Invading Raw.
Occupy Raw was not a part of the plan, but he did it anyway.
1 year in jail. Made a constitution.
He wasn't supposed to be there, but he went against authority. It was very
It's
good.
bad for business. That's all. It's
Bad for business, not
Stop.
very good.
Stop it! It's bad.
Yeah, no, I just love that moment, and I want to go back and watch it at some point. It's so good.
I want to go back.
Anyway, I already know what your number ones are.
Daniel Bryan versus Big Cats. Money in the
Yeah.
I'm going to win the Rumble, and then I'm going to beat up Brian.
No, fucking Roman Reigns, the first man to declare in the Royal Rumble.
Declare the Rumble, and then he goes,
Yeah.
so
Looking
funny.
at the camera.
All right, go for it.
Anyway,
Go for it.
Bryan Danielson wins the AEW
Yes.
World Championship and All In 2024. Are you kidding?
The greatest moment in AEW history, man. Holy fucking hell, man.
Oh my
Unbelievable. Unbelievable shit. The opening, we were excited, man. When Final Countdown hits, when he enters the ring and you see, like, you know, just when he like gets up on the ring and you hear the Final Countdown chants and you see like the Titantron, it's his Final Countdown. I'm like, it's over, isn't
And then
it?
Swerve comes out, final boss of AEW, with that dope ass entrance. Like,
Oh,
And then they have like just the most, I said it on the review, the most simple but perfect like payoff of all time for just beautiful. Like, oh my God. So many sequences in this match are just fucking spectacular. Like so much storytelling with like even just beyond the emotional value. And Cass mentioned, obviously, I want to shout out, I shout out Swerve, want to shout him again. I love in that moment that Cass mentioned where Brian's on his knees, Swerve is yelling at Brian, don't look at them, you look at me, because he's trying to like ice out his one like lifeline in the match because he knows that that's like his one weakness. Fucking brilliant work from Swerve.
I love you so much. Look at me. All right. Bye.
Bang!
Oh, dude, and not even that, man. Like, just again, we've already talked about this on the review, but like, man, when he hits that knee on Swerve, and Swerve's just like, yeah, you ain't got it anymore, man. Look at this. This shit sucks. And then
All-timer.
hits with the fucking kick.
The callbacks to...
And then he hits no pressure, and he's the first person to kick out no pressure.
Oh, it's so good.
Dude.
No,
And then
don't
just,
big
of course, the
big
ending.
pressure.
It's the best kick out I've ever seen.
Just the ending, man.
Oh, 1, 2.
No, Danielson! No.
Him getting
my
this big
God.
moment where it's like a big title victory in this big stadium, and now he has his family with him this time, as well as his peers and all these fans. It's like there's no shit. It's his favorite moment. Like that wouldn't be yours. Like
It felt like when
yeah.
Cody won, and then everyone came out and celebrated
Yeah.
with him.
And LA Knight's in there, and they're just like, "What the fuck, the polar bear doing in Arlington?"
What is
Texas?
Bruv doing?
It's like that's Pac. That's Pac.
Why are you here, bro? Goddamn.
Dude,
invited
we
Blood?
really got like two of the greatest moments in each company's like biggest events histories like ever.
This-
Speaking of
Right.
which, we saw the on AEW last night. At the time of recording this, we saw John Moxley is looking to do this new thing. This new, I don't know what this new character is that he's doing. I really thought he was going to beat the shit out of Brian at the end of the show.
We kind of need.
Shit.
John
We're gonna
hasn't
get
had
that.
a proper.
I think we're getting
He
that
hasn't
soon.
had like a proper heel run yet. Like he's been like a tweener at times, but people
I
still
want to
cheer
see
for
him
him.
just beat the piss out of Brian and try to take that shit from him. I want to see that be the full gear match. I want that so bad.
If heel Mox is the one that takes the belt off of Brian, I actually won't be upset with that. I wouldn't.
upset though. God damn it, fucking
Dude.
Mox.
Then you can have Eddie Kingston come back and beat Mox for the title.
And then Christian can cash in on Eddie Kingston.
Oh my god, dude, we're cooking. We're cooking. Holy shit. And
Tony
then
Khan, do not listen to us. Please make Brian hold that belt for 2 years. Thank you.
Dude, did you see that tweet where it's like, I will not retire until I lose this title, and it's the picture of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it's like Roman Reigns,
1,317
12,000 day
streak,
reign.
yeah, holding up both belts. Would be crazy if that happened. The whole thing was just a farce, and Brian's just gonna
It
keep
would be
doing this.
so fucking funny. Oh god.
3 more
It's
years
hope.
of just him. And he just beats everyone on the fucking roster repeatedly. They
The
bring
only
in
person to
WWE.
beat him is Shane McMahon.
Honestly, I
Long-term-
honestly think
Long-term
I think it'd be
storytelling,
awesome.
man. We got to finish that
I-
SmackDown feud.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be either Osprey or Garcia.
No.
I think it'll be one of them to beat Brian.
No.
God.
Yow, yow.
Fucking
I
Toy
don't think
Story.
that should
Fucking
be- No.
So Woody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fucking
Anyway.
funny.
that is our
Look,
DP7.
all you got to take away from this is that Bryan Danielson is the greatest wrestler to ever live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not even close.
He genuinely is. I genuinely think that now, and I'm very excited to see where his title run goes. But yeah, that's been the good, the bad, and the bruv. So Wyatt,
Oh,
you know what that means, right?
home roads.
I'm gonna have to get the wheel up. All right, here we go. Say the magic word.
It is time to spin because Revamp Studios is back, baby.
It's going. It's going. It's going. Oh my god!
No.
You almost got Corpse Bride. Feel lucky.
Oh Jesus.
Oh. Oh, still Johnny Depp.
Oh
Wait,
god. What is this?
Sweeney Todd.
What?
Oh, Teeny Swad. Oh,
Teeny Swad.
Oh my! I actually don't know
Alright.
what the fuck is coming next. This is gonna be insane.
All right, let me get the timer up.
All right.
Dude, my head. I want everyone to know my throat is still sore from Sunday because that match is just
Still sore from
so
sucking all
good.
that dick.
Suck out that balls.
All right, we go. Right, 51 seconds. Sweeney Todd. Off you go.
Right. Okay, so this basically is going to be kind of the same. It's going to be a remake, pretty much. Remake of the Tim Burton film Sweeney Todd. It's going to be it's going to actually star this time instead. It's going to star how's that guy's name? Crispin Glover. Yeah, Crispin Glover's going to be in this instead of Johnny Depp. We love Crispin Glover. Willard himself, also George McFly, very funny man. We're looking to get like a different performance here. It's also going to be directed by. I'm going to go with.
This is abysmal.
This is
Yeah,
terrible.
we're gonna go with. We're gonna go. Okay, basically the whole movie is kind of like claymation. Also, that's another thing too. But he's real. Crispin Glover is real, but everything else is claymation. Yeah, and it's gonna be directed by nobody. It's actually
By
gonna be the first movie that
nobody?
Crispin Glover. No, Crispin Glover is gonna basically direct and.
Folks,
star.
just go watch
Brother.
Madagascar Escape to Africa. There's no
He
point being
just-
here anymore.
This man just sandbagged this segment harder than Brett sandbagged Mercedes.
That was the
on
biggest
Sunday,
fumble
brother.
I've ever seen in
That
my
was
life.
that was ass. That was a 2-pack of
I
ass.
think it's a remake.
Dude, it's so
Crispin
early, alright.
Glover?
I'm into it, man. You'll be surprised.
Animated.
I think we need to
Guess what,
retire this
guys?
segment for like a solid month before we do
Joker's
this again.
trick. This is the final.
The final Joker's trick, the ultimate
You
Joker's trick.
just fucking Morbius your own segment.
Yep, it's over.
That was
That's
awful.
how we do it.
It's fucking over.
Yeah,
Damn, it's over. Sorry, guys.
sorry guys. Anyway, stay tuned next week for when we have John Moxley joining us. What? Yeah,
We're not doing that.
no. Chris Van Vliet. I will say that we have some very big things coming up in September, so boys, get hyped. For
We
that.
have a very, very big thing coming up in September, but we can't give away
two
what
very
it is
big
yet.
things actually.
My balls. Those are the. All right.
No. End it there.
Why? I got one thing to say to you.
No. Dude, if we don't end the podcast right now, my dad's gonna shit my mouth.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr.
We'll see you
Miyagi
next
wouldn't do
time.
this.
Buy the Patreon. Let's subscribe to the YouTube.
Daniel Son.
Get the merch.
egg roll.
Buy the merch.
Buy the merch. Buy the merch. Buy the merch.
Buy the merch.
Go watch my edit, please go
No,
watch my edit. I
don't.
need to make.
Don't go watch
I need
his
to
edit. His
monetize.
edit
I'm so close to being able to monetize. Please, God, please. I need you to do it, please.
A fresh golden breeze on the meadow.
End the fucking show, please. I'm
This is garbage. Turn it off.